I like Instagram a lot. I think what happened was I had a little bit of a emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
When I got fired from Travel. Well, I hadn't gotten fired yet. I just was doing a show that I had already been canceled, and I didn't know
where it was going.
And I just felt like, what am I? Just a host? And like Burr and Rogan had said some stuff to me that leaned into, hey man, you need to get the fuck away from Travel Channel. You're not going anywhere.
Aye.
And I started doing a vlog, and I started enjoying shooting, editing, and creating content.
Aye.
And so that's why I like Instagram, because I can create funny content or interesting content.
Yeah.
Twitter depresses the living fuck out of me. Yeah. Like I see stuff and I feel bad for people.
Aye.
Or I don't like a permanent.
Twitter makes me hate the world. Instagram makes me hate individuals. Like, because I find like Twitter, I've made sure that like I've on Twitter I've really tried to make a conscious effort to make sure that I'm not in an echo chamber, that I'm not just following. Like, I'm left leaning, like I'm one of them, but I want to make sure that I follow right wing people, because I'm told by the media that every right wing person is a Nazi, and I just think statistically that can't be true.
Oh yeah, that is the, that is where my head is right now.
Yeah,
is like when that kid got milkshaked, Andy No, did you follow that?
I didn't go, yeah.
And
the right-wing journalist by Antifa out in the Portland things, yeah. I was following that whole thing.
I was following that too. And so here, but I think this is as a comic's brain, because Segura and I were talking about this. I say to myself, that's fucking horrible, and I get outraged that would happen to that kid. Then I go, hold on, like, let's as a comic, let's take it from the other angle.
Aye.
Like, what did he do? Well, I mean, and you can't say that like when like Ray Rice hit his wife and
yeah. Because now we're getting into the realm of victim blaming, which is never great.
And Stephen A. Smith goes, well, what did she say to him?
Yeah. You're like, doesn't matter. She could have said the worst thing. It still doesn't.
What did she do? It's such a valid question when someone gets hit. But wait, hold on.
Yeah. Not that it justifies it, but I just need to know for the context.
It's a valid question with any man.
Yeah.
Like when any guy gets punched and you're like, oh my God, that's fucking horrible. Hold on. What did you do? Like,
I do say that whenever a guy gets into a fight, I'm always like, or whenever, and it's always something my mum says, I think it's a different generation of people. Like, now, if I ever got in trouble at school, my mum's whole thing is, what did you do? Like, what? And if another parent, it was never, I was always instantly in the wrong. If somebody else had spoken to me, it was always right. Fuckhead, I've just had a fucking phone call about you. What did you fucking do? And I'm like, I didn't, none of that shit. What did you do? What did you do? Whereas now they'll be like, so the neighbors are making lies about you.
Yeah.
Your parents are on your side instantly for no fucking reason.
Oh yeah. I got slapped in the chest by a priest, and like I was shirtless.
Well, that makes okay, and I hate to be the guy that goes, "What were you wearing?" But
I was
if you're shirtless in church,
and he said, "You, Mr. Kreischer, no."
Oh.
After a pep rally,
okay.
You, Mr. Kreischer, are an asshole, and he slapped me in the chest, dead across, like a wrestling move.
Wow.
And
church has changed since
I got hit. I was like outraged.
Yeah.
And my mom happened to be at the school because it was like a big pep rally.
How old were you?
17.
Okay.
And I or maybe 17 probably. And my mom saw it, and I was like, Father McGinn just hit me.
Yeah.
And my mom goes, what did you do? And I went, he just hit me. And she goes, yeah, but he couldn't have hit you for no reason.
He's a man of God, Bert. He's not gonna hit you for no fucking reason.
It's amazing you can't even say that. Because they were saying like, well, what did Andy no do to get hit? And then here's what sucks about the internet is like,
you can't fact check anything,
dude. Because
there's so many people putting out different versions of the story. That's why I did a similar thing to you, which is the second I see a story, I'm like, right, I want to find out what actually fucking happened as opposed to what the headlines say.
Right.
So from what I can work from the Andy thing is he was out there. Obviously, there's the Antifa do not like his journalism and his reporting. They don't think he's a real journalist because he spends, from what I've gathered, he spends his time sort of saying that certain things that are put out as hate crimes weren't necessarily hate crimes because it was just coincidence that it happened to trans people. And Antifa take that as him being against them. So then he's out filming amongst them, and then they start throwing milkshakes at him, and then crowd mentality, mob mentality.
Take that down. We're going to get kicked off. Rogan apparently can't play videos anymore because then people come in and they want your advertising. Isn't that fucking bullshit?
It's not on screen.
Oh, it's not? Oh, good.
Just in the live shot.
So... Oh, nice. Thank you.
Regardless,
Thank you,
I just don't think you get to. Also, the one thing that like is, I just don't think you should hit someone that's walking away. Like,
Yeah, I
you're
know.
you're allowed to hit people that are in a fight. Like, if there's a fight taking place and you're in a fight, he's walking away from that. And even though I don't agree with his politics, which I do not agree with Andy's politics.
Yeah.
I still don't think you deserve to get punched in the fucking head.
I definitely don't agree with his politics, but I
don't
feel
agree
like
with
cowards punch like that.
Yeah, with your mask on. It's like if you're gonna stand up, if you're going to stand up for what you believe, if you standing up for what you believe in involves punching someone, sure, I can get on board with that. Show your face though, otherwise you're standing up for nothing.
That's where, and once again, this is loaded politics right now, but that's where I lean into the Proud Boys, because I go, those guys are being called racist. And at the beginning, they weren't racist at all. They were just a group of fucking podcast listeners. That's all they were, is podcast fans. It's like, it was no different than Death Squad. It was just podcast fans who all liked a guy who liked to troll people. And so, but they show their face, and you go, show your fucking face. If you're going to fucking stand for your politics, show your fucking face.
I mean, still, just don't be a racist cunt though. That I would.
But I mean, I'm never going to sit here and try to defend the Proud Boys, but
Yeah.
I was a fan of Gavin McGinnis's for years.
Aye.
He's the guy that started Proud Boys.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can be a fan of someone for ages. We live in a time now where you can be a fan of someone for ages, and then they switch and they go absolutely batshit mental.
Yeah.
And you just go, oh God. I think it's now that we live in a time of such fucking identity politics that it's just nobody's allowed to be flawed anymore.
Oh God. And except for Trump, he has won that battle in spades. I looked at the Democratic Party when they did the whatchamacallit. By the way, I don't know anything about politics.
Me neither.
But I went through the thing.
But let's discuss it nonetheless.
Yeah, but let's throw our hat in the ring.
This is exactly what the problem is with the world right now. So we don't know anything about politics. That being said,
I have a platform, and here we go.
Yeah, this is like you would never ever accept, like, you're going into a doctor. Hey, I'm not a doctor, but I think you need this type of surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll listen. You're just a man two men outside the waiting room of the doctor's office. You walk in, the doctor's like, hey, we think we're going to have to give you aggressive chemo for like 3 months. And then after that, we'll check how it's going. And then you come outside and it's just me and you outside. And we're also just in there to visit the doctor.
Yeah.
We're like, what do you say? Chemo? He's full of shit. You tried bacon?
Yeah.
We like bacon. And we have a friend. He eats bacon, doesn't have cancer. Coincidence? I think not.
That's the fucking problem with my dieting, is I hear so many people talk about dieting on Instagram, on podcasts, that I am so all over the fucking map, because I don't know who to listen to anymore.
Yeah, there's too
one guy
many.
goes heavy fat concentrated diet. One guy goes keto. One guy goes vegan. One guy says vegetarian. And then
have you tried heaps of cocaine?
no, you know what really does work is Ambien. Towards like about 6 p.m. when you start feeling hungry.
Oh yeah.
Take an Ambien and you go right to sleep.
Is this one of these legal American drugs?
Oh yeah, it's like a sleep drug, like Lunesta.
I don't. I will buy and do drugs from a man I've never met in a toilet. I've got no reason to know this man. All I did was walk into a bar and say drugs, and he said, I do those. I'll pay money for that and do those drugs without questioning his ethics at all. Anytime an American hands me an orange bottle of pills, I'm like, go fuck yourself. That's what killed Heath Ledger. Like, I will not.
Ambien is what killed Heath Ledger.
I bet it fucking is.
It was a combination of Xanax and Ambien.
I am not. It's such an American thing, prescription fucking drug.
For real?
Oh yeah, man. I will not, because here's the difference. In the UK, we have the NHS, where doctors will only give you drugs if they have to, because they're not NHS,
NHS.
National Health Service, right? So we get free healthcare. So they will not give you any medicine that they don't think you need, because it's coming out of the system's pocket. It's not a profit thing. Whereas here, because you're a profit-based healthcare system, they're like, hey, you want these are good for you. And you're just like, then you get addicted to them. There's so much more prescription drugs out here than there are anywhere else, especially in the UK.
They said that's the problem with opioids, is that there's money to be made. And the guy that created fucking the Oxycontin is a gazillionaire.
Yep.
I think he's an Asian guy living in Arizona, and they just indicted him.
Yeah, because he's one of the main reasons for the opioid problem that's all across America. Yeah.
By the way, what I just said could be totally inaccurate, but that's so funny. You guys, I love prescription pills. I had a little problem with Xanax for a while.
All that shit scares the fucking crap out of me.
Really?
That's what got Heath Ledger. That's what nearly got fucking Eminem. Like, you always hear about, and it's again as well, like, it's such a common thing over here. Like, we were at a 4th of July party yesterday, and just one of my friends was just like, "Hey, you want some? I got some muscle relaxers from because I got whiplash. Do you want some?" And I'm like, "No, a doctor gave you those.
Yeah.
Like, a doctor gave you those, not me. So I'm not touching the drugs that a doctor."
My favorite part of my wife giving birth was she get all these pain pills. I'd be like,
you walking into fucking chemo lounges being like, "Hey, fuck it, I like this. This looks fun." Like, I'm not taking drugs that are not meant for me.
I used to go through our fucking medicine cabinet.
Did you also get an epidural during her labor? Being like, fuck it, 2 for 1, family discount.
They fucked up her epidural, so they had to give her fucking high-end Vicodins because she was in pain for like a month, and my wife doesn't like Vicodins. And I remember in our apartment opening our medicine cabinet and checking the expiration date and realizing, as if you were looking through your fridge going, "Hey, we got to eat this steak." I was like, "We got to kill these Vicodins." Like,
oh my God.
Oh, dude.
But it's Vicodin also, but they're all just painkillers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all just painkillers. I've had a couple run-ins with pills. I had a run-in with.
I know I'd be addicted to them. Like, that's another reason why I know I will. I've got an addictive personality.
So
man.
easy.
I'm not touching those because the second I touch those, that's me. I'm that guy. I'm the 2 before I go out, 2 before I drive a car, 2 before I crash into.
I said to someone the other day because I had a problem. I fell off a waterfall. And
that's the most Bert Kreischer sentence I've ever heard. Like,
I fell off one of my buddies was on a hunt in New Zealand and had the same problem I had, where you couldn't get rescued out of a ravine. Yeah. So I fell off a waterfall and I ended up in a ravine and I had to climb my way out. Oh, dude, it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. But they gave me OxyContin.
Why can you not? Why can they not?
Because there's no way for a helicopter to land.
So you just have to climb out the.
Dude, I can't tell you. I can tell you the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, the birth of Georgia was amazing.
Yeah.
I was just everything was great. I can tell you the time I had $20 on 11 on Cowhead's cruise, and it hit on 11, and I can remember those feelings.
Yeah.
When I'd fell off the waterfall, and then they cut my dry suit off me, and then they were like, "Listen, they can't get a rescue chopper in here. You're gonna need to crawl out." And I couldn't move, and the idea of me getting 210 feet up, was so insurmountable. I mean, I can't. It's like, you know, when people go, I can't imagine.
I'm sorry, just so I can get visual. Is this like a sheer cliff face that you're climbing, or is it like just steep? Like, what do you need to get out of?
At points, it was a waterfall in North Carolina.
Yeah,
and there was somewhat of a trail going down into the ravine because my crew had climbed, but at points you had to rappel down, and at points it was so steep you had to like hold on to something, and so now I had to climb up it. And I think it was a fairly doable climb up.
Yeah.
But in the state I was in, I couldn't move my legs. My legs couldn't move much forward.
Yeah.
So I had to get on my hands and knees was the best I could do.
Like a zombie with broken legs.
And crawl. And I mean, my friends were just looking. They could do it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't help me.
All right.
And
they were just already there, just texting your wife, being like, "It's all over, move on."
I remember that so vividly. You know when you go like, this isn't fair, like almost like I can't really vocalize it, but then we're like, you're gonna need to get yourself out of here.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's impossible.
Yeah,
but then I realized, oh, I don't have any choice at all. Yeah, and the first little walk up the hill, they had a guide there trying to help me get out. He like tried to help carry me and help me around court. That first walk up the hill, by the way, it's literally maybe like an 8-foot stretch up at the very beginning. That is at a very slight incline. Yeah. I couldn't get up that.
What was your injury?
I landed on my back and didn't break my back, but contused. I fell like 15 feet, and I contused the muscles to the point where it went all into my legs, and I couldn't move. My legs weren't working at all. I couldn't move I couldn't like lean forward. It was really bizarre. I ended up pissing in the bed that night.
Oh, fun.
Because I got stuck in the bed. I couldn't get out.
Oh God! So that's just a potential future that you could have just lying in there.
It was. I was scared because I thought maybe I broke my back or maybe I ruptured internal organs or I was really scared. But that just happened to my buddy. Now he went in and how did we get talking about this? So Oxycontin.
Yeah, Oxycontin painkillers.
I was saying to someone the other day, there's a fine line between my back hurts and I don't want to read a book to my daughter.
Aye.
And so you go, fucking Oxy will make that doable. My wife killed the Oxys. We were about to go on a camping trip. Camping. Yeah. I was like, okay, I can get through the camping. I was taking an Oxycontin every 6 hours and a Vicodin and a muscle relaxant. Not Vicodin, not Ambien, not what's the old school one? Not Quaalude.
Quaalude is the only, again, all these legal shit that I will not go anywhere fucking name. Tramadol, I did Tramadol once.
What's Tramadol?
Tramadol is like a heavy fucking painkiller. It's one of the ones that gets abused in the UK. The only reason I had it was like I had this fucking brutal throat infection. It was just, I couldn't swallow, I couldn't chew. It was just in a lot of fucking pain. And then my agent had some Tramadol. She'd had surgery and she was like, this'll help with the fucking pain. And I took some, and then about 2 hours, again, I've never done like fucking legal painkillers and stuff all the time. I wake up about 2 hours later and my throat is literally closing, right? Like my airwaves are fucking closed. And I'm just like, so I'm immediately like, and there's no noise to me when my throat is closed. I'm like, okay, at this point in time, what I have to do is I have to go fucking phone an ambulance for myself because I've got about 2 minutes before it all goes dark. Yeah. So I walk out there and I start dialing 999, which is the number, and then I realize my throat's fucking closed. Like you can't phone the police, so the ambulance for yourself. I'm just gonna be like, like some fucking sick pervert just phoning the NHS to masturbate down the fucking phone to them. They're like, okay, sir, goodbye. Hang up, and I'm just choking to death like a kinky bitch. And eventually, like, get out there. So my plan is to just text every number in my phone book. Hey, my throats are closed. I'm about to pass out. Put myself in the recovery position just by the front door in the hopes that they'll just be able to fucking come in there. Fortunately, got outside. Two of my friends were in the house and they saw me and they were like, why are you fucking purple? That's the best Barney the Dinosaur impression we've ever fucking seen. They managed to get it to the point where it sort of calmed down and managed to get my sort of airways open. Everything was obvious. I didn't die, so spoiler alert. Spoiler. Yeah, but that was just that was the one time I've ever gone near a legal drug.
Did you have an allergic reaction?
Don't know what it was. I'll never touch a legal fucking drug again. Whereas you could pull a bag of any powder out your back pocket. I'll be like, I mean, I'll see what it is.
Dude, there was the comic in New York. I apologize, I don't remember his name. He was a very successful up and coming, meaning like he was writing on shows. I think he was show running, and he was in Mexico and he took what he thought was Molly and died.
I did not remember his name. I heard the story fucking last week, but yeah, that sounds.
I was thinking about that the other day. How many times I just put pills in my mouth, didn't know what they were,
just trusted people,
trusted people.
Aye.
We had my buddy's bachelor party in Atlanta. This is in right when I started stand up, probably 98, 99. And my buddy's really into black chicks. So and he's a white guy, but he's got a lot of black friends too. So we just went to black strip clubs. So like Magic City or whatever. But we had a tour bus. Outkast had just come out with What's That Fuss? Everybody move to the back of the bus. Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
So we all take ecstasy. We all get ecstasy, right? We all take ecstasy. We all go in. I go into the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, everyone starts falling, collapsing, and passing out. And they start moving. That album's playing, and they're moving bodies to the back of the bus. And I walked into the bathroom and had a pray straight talk to God moment where I was like,
and not even just one God, all of them. You're like, hey, all of you, listen up. Whichever one saves me, that's the team shirt I'm wearing for the rest of my life.
Fucking
even if it's Thor, one of the fucking old school ones, whoever comes up and saves me in this scenario.
God, Odin, where are you?
Yeah. I've never had my worst experience on illegal drugs was. We all got spiked with acid when we were in Benidorm.
And
that's
where?
it. In Benidorm. So Benidorm's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the scummiest part of Spain. And the reason it's the scummiest part of Spain is it's because where all the English go on their holidays, right? So it's like this part of Spain where like all these Brits eventually move over there. They get too fucking sunburned, and then these are the Brits that complain about immigration without any level of self-awareness.
Is this like Sexy Beast? Remember Sexy Beast?
No.
With Ray, Oh, you never saw Sexy Beast?
No.
Oh, it's such a great British movie. It's such a great British movie.
Who's in it?
Ray. Fuck. Google Sexy Beast. You know who's in it? Is Sir Richard?
Sir Richard Branson.
No. The guy who played Gandhi.
Fucking, I've no idea.
You've never seen Sexy Beast?
No, never.
Oh, what's the guy's name? Ray. What's his name? What's his name, Halston?
Like a child lock on this because I can't search for Sexy Beast movie.
That makes sense. I've never heard. To me, when you started saying shit,
right now, everyone's fucking punching their iPhone, going, Bert, let him tell his fucking story. Fuck Sexy Beast. He was just about to talk about a black Ray Winston, Ben Kingsley, Ian McShane.
I've not seen it. I'll fucking get into it.
It is so. Ben Kingsley delivers what can only be referred to as an awe-inspiring depiction of a gangster. He gives one of the most amazing performances I've ever seen, to the point where I've
never fucking heard of this movie.
Are you serious?
I've never heard of it.
It is so good. Ray Winston's an old safecracker. He's like a gangster, and he gets away from it. Him and his best friend go to Spain, and their wives go to Spain to get out of the business.
Yeah.
And Ben Kingsley's in love with his best friend's wife and comes down to tell him, hey, you got one more job for Ian McShane. You got to go back to whatchamacallit. And they, I'm not going to ruin
spoiler.
it.
Okay.
It's so fucking good.
I'll get onto it fucking immediately.
This is can you play this? Put the sound on. This is the trailer for Sexy Beast. It is so this isn't going to do it justice.
One man's woman. One man's heaven is another man's reason to raise hell.
Ben Kingsley's fucking amazing in this.
Meet Don Logan.
This is also the most American trailer.
No, I'm not going to put it out.
Are you definitely retired?
Yeah, well, so am I.
You're needed in London this Friday.
A bit sudden, isn't it?
It's not sudden. Preparation.
It is insanely good.
One night for me.
When I think of all the birds you could have had, you had to pick a dirty DD.
I'll have for a while.
This doesn't even do it justice. All right, cut it out. I want to hear your bad drug story. But this is part of Spain.
But that looks like a classier version than what I'm describing.
Okay,
Benidorm is this place where the reason we all went is because it's like we're I don't know what the American equivalent of it. It's not even Miami, because I imagine there's some places in Miami that has class. Benidorm is just you're drinking on the street, you can buy drugs on the street. The reason you go out there is just because it's hot weather, it's cheap fucking booze. The locals hate the Brits because the worst of Britain goes over there. So we were like, let's absolutely be part of that. So we go out there. There's about fucking, I think there's about I think there's about 6 of us out there, me and my guy friends, all comics. And we're having the time of our goddamn life. We're getting horrifically on it. And about later on in the night, it gets about 1 a.m, we've done coke, we've done pills, we've done molly, we've done all this stuff. And we're in this bar, and then there's this Dutch guy, and we're all mullered. And he just turns around to Kai, and he goes, I hate Muslims. Do you hate Muslims? Oh, no, he says it to me first. He goes to me, he's like, I hate Muslims. Do you hate Muslims? And I was like, what? And he goes, I hate Muslims. Do you hate Muslims? And I'm like, man, I've met like 6 of them. And there's a billion. So I've not done enough research to firmly I'm gonna go off the bat and say no, I don't. But I was just so mad. I'm like, no, I think they're all right. I don't. It's not the conversation I want to have on ecstasy at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So he turns around to Kai and says to Kai, oh, I hate Muslims, you hate Muslims. Now, Kai's wife she's half Scottish, half Oman. So her mother's...
Half a man?
Half Oman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, half a man.
Half Scottish, half a man. And I went...
Half Omani.
Oman. God, I'm a dumb American.
Yeah, no. It's also, I like saying it that way all the time. They're like, she's half a man. So She says it to Kai, and Kai's immediately like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You fucking racist piece of shit. So the Dutch guy's like, no, didn't mean anything by it. I'll buy you a bunch of shots. And then this must have been none of us paid attention, but we saw security footage the other night of him pouring just all these fucking in these shots. There's something that none of us paid attention. So we all do this shot, and then it's about, I'm going to say about 25 minutes later, we're all outside and we're watching fucking Rory McDonald fight Robbie Lawler through the window on the TV UFC. And just their faces start melting off, right? Like in that fucking bit in Indiana Jones, his face starts melting off. All the faces start melting off. All the buildings suddenly catch fire around me and nobody is screaming. And I'm just sat there going... I don't think this is ecstasy. Like, I've done ecstasy before. This is fucking weird. I'm looking at my phone. The screen's all moving around. I'm like, right, okay, this is, and everyone, looking around at everyone else, they all seem fine. They're all laughing. And I'm just like, oh, maybe I'm just having a bad reaction. Like, I don't want to be the person being like, hey guys, I'm freaking out. And they're like, yeah, you fucking pussy. Yeah. None of that. So I turned to my friend Matty and I'm like, I'm feeling weird. Are you feeling weird? And he's there and he's like, I'm pissing my pants. And I was like, what? And he goes, I'm pissing my pants. And I look down and he's not. And he's like, I'm like, Matty, you're not. And he goes, I'm literally filling up the street with my own piss. Like, and everyone's about to drown. And I'm like, all right, cool. Whatever I'm on, Matty's on. Like, me and him are in the same fucking scenario. So we get up and we decide to go for a fucking walk. We're walking through the streets. It's getting worse and worse and worse. We're just leaving our friends behind. Our friend Milo starts joining us when he's like, I'm feeling fucking weird too. And I'm like, right, okay, cool. We get through this park. Now at this point, we're all so fucked up that none of us really know what happens. All we know is that a guy came up to us, started speaking to us in a dark park, and he was with 3 other people. And then I just heard Milo, he just freaked out. He just went, run. Now, when somebody says run while you're on acid, you run for as long as you can. So we start fucking sprinting down these streets in Benidorm, running as fast as we fucking can, right? I forget why I'm running. Like, I'm just running, the lights are going past, I'm getting distracted, it's all fucking beautiful, everything looks amazing, and I'm like, why am I running? This is dead nice, like, this is a nice, warm night, and I slow down, and then I just hear, he's still coming. I'm like, oh yeah, no fear, yeah, no, fear's the overriding one. We fucking run down, we finally get into our apartment, we don't know if we've still been chased, we don't know if we were chased at all in the fucking first place. I look in the mirror in the apartment, and there's just worms coming out of my face, and crawling into other parts of my face, and I'm like, oh, I've never done acid before, but this is very clearly what acid is. Like, I'm like, and I say to them, I'm like, we're on acid. And they're like, what do we do? And I'm like, from what I know, nothing. You're just on acid. That's just your existence now until you're no longer on acid. There's no way to counteract it. I hear like if you drink milkshakes or sugar, it might, but I don't know if there's any fucking truth to that. But we now can't find our other friends. Kai's away somewhere. We're terrified. So for about 3 hours, we stay there trying to fucking sober up. We find our other 2 friends, one of them who just buried himself in the sand on the beach, just his head. That was the only way he could think to survive. We eventually find our friend Kai and Barry, like after 5 hours of us wandering the streets, fucking dehydrated, losing our minds. Kai and Barry sat there giggling in the middle of the street, and we're like, you are aware that we've been spiked with acid? And they were both like, oh, thank God. We thought we'd lost our minds. Like, we thought we'd just done so much drugs that our brains had just gone, bah! And then forever, permanent damage for the rest of your life. It's the worst, man. Dude, I don't know why people do acid willingly.
I've done it before, and I got slipped it once at spring break.
Is it different when you know you're taking it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think there's a. I don't know the answer to that. I didn't enjoy it ever. I've never enjoyed it.
See, I think there's a certain type of people who like psycho. Like Ari Shafir is one of the ones. It's for him. He's that type. You were about
to when you said Kai's laughing in the middle of the street. I go, yeah, that makes sense. There's certain people who go, oh, I got slipped acid. Well, I was free.
Yeah,
Ari Shafir. And then there's people like me that I got slipped acid, and I was with one of my buddies, and I remember the first thing I thought was like, who put on space boots on my feet? and then my buddy was like, don't look in the mirror. He goes, I think we're on. He goes, because we had taken a sip of someone's drink at a park. We couldn't find a drink. The guy's like, hey, tell some of mine. He had a big, like 32 big gulp. We sipped it, and we're like, that's just soda. And he goes, yeah. And we were like, okay. And then I remember Mike going like, I shouldn't say his name, but his name's Mike. He's a real grown-up now, like a legit grown-up.
Like an actual adult, unlike us.
I think he's Christian, too.
Oh.
Yeah, his kids don't know anything about. He overdosed on drugs one time bad, and his kids don't know anything about his old history. But anyway, Mike says, I think we just did acid. And I was like, no. He's like, I think we did. And then we're hanging out, we're having a good time. And then all of a sudden we end up back in our hotel room. He's looking in the mirror. I'm standing in the shower and he's seeing himself in his reflection of his eye, infinity. And I'm like, who put on space boots on me? And then we were like, oh my God, what do we do? So we watched fishing shows all night.
Great. I was, what the fuck was
cuddled up, watched fishing shows.
It seems to be the way to deal with acid is to just surround yourself with other people on acid. Otherwise, it's a fucking nightmare.
We just did Rogan's podcast the other day. Me, Ari, Tom, and Joe. And Joe's like, you guys want to eat mushrooms? It's like a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And Tom's like, I definitely don't. I've got to pick my kid up after this. Yeah. And Joe's like, Ari? And Ari's like, sure. And then Ari ate mushrooms, and it was very clear he was tripping his balls off through the entire podcast, just like, and Joe was normal as fuck. Not even remotely.
Didn't even touch the sides.
Literally, I couldn't tell a difference in Joe in the slightest.
Well, do you reckon that's just because he's done it so much now?
I don't think he does a lot of psychedelics. I think he does them, but I don't think he's like, Ari does a lot of psychedelics.
Aye.
I think Joe I think the scariness Joe enjoys.
The fear, the paranoia.
What I think he finds, I'm speculating, obviously. I'm speculating about my friend. I never want to speculate about my friends, but like, I believe and this is through listening to Joe's podcast too, is that there's a part of Joe that when it goes sideways and it gets scary, he likes exploring that part of his body and trying to kill it. Like he goes,
sees it as like fucking weakness stamp.
He's like, he's like, is this a weakness? Because he loves, and once again, I'm not, but he loves finding his weakness and strengthening it.
Which is a fucking excellent form of self-improvement.
The uncomfortable makes him excited.
I get that. I mean, we get that a little bit. Like I said, that's.
I don't get that at all.
Well, fucking doing stand up, man. Like.
Oh yeah, well that's different.
Like that's a little bit of like what's it's a terrifying thing to stand up in front of people. Well, but then again, I've never really found it that scary.
I've always enjoyed it. Joe does it with like running. He started running a few years ago, and he was like, I'm intrigued by it because it's so hard. But this fucking guy's running in shoes, running like 2 miles in shoes on a beach. And I'm like, you don't start running on beaches.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it makes it harder in his head.
Fucking fair play to him, man. I reckon Joe Rogan's just going to live forever. Like he's just fueled by fucking elk meat.
Hunting. He loves it. Dude, he killed an elk like his first day hunting. Yeah. And then all
no bow and arrow, just a stare. To be fair, Joe Rogan is the exact person that when the world goes to shit, you just go as close to Joe Rogan as you can and you just put your hand on his shoulder and you go, just so you know, whatever new form of government comes up, I'm standing behind you just because I reckon you'll be able to survive the post-apocalyptic world much better than myself.
There's a good story out there that neither of them have shared, so I won't share it, but of when shit went sideways, with the fires. And Joe is the guy that you want to trust me when I say Joe's the guy that everyone wants in his corner. And Joe will go, dude, I'm not doing anything special. Yeah. There's a dickload of firemen that got fed because of Joe because he had a fucking cooler of goddamn 100 pounds of elk. And he's the guy that when shit goes sideways, you want him by your side. Definitely.
He knows what he's just got that fucking he's trained himself to be old school fucking caveman man.
He doesn't get scared. Like, I get scared.
I get scared. Yeah, I do. I've got stupid fears, though.
Like, what's something you do that, like, do you ever do anything that, like I don't really, when we go camping, we do, like, safe camping. Do you ever, like, get off the grid and do anything like that?
No. Fuck no, man. I like being in control. Like, that's another reason why I don't like psychedelics. Psychedelics are like a form of, I've done DMT and stuff. But, like,
really?
Yeah, just to see what it was like. Because I had all these fucking hippies telling me that like DMT is you going to another planet and speaking to these fucking beings, and I'm like, I believe in the power of psychedelics. I just don't believe in the explanation of psychedelics. Like, I absolutely believe that you can see things that are not there and experience these profound levels of self-understanding, but it's not a fucking higher being. It's not a fucking higher consciousness. Like, first time I did DMT was I just wanted to see what it was. And me and Kai, we fucking did the whole, we don't want to do it properly as well. So we like did the meditation beforehand for like half an hour and making sure that, you know, you're in a sort of safe space. And I did the DMT, and it lasted 5 minutes and also forever, because the time becomes this fucking abstract thing, which I never understood until I did it. And then I remember having these like conversations, but not out loud, but with these other beings being like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Well," I remember my carpet fucking moving, and I remember being like, "I know that's not moving. My brain's telling me it's moving." So like,
you
how
can do that?
Yeah, so I
can't do that.
I was studying, so I was on the floor like rubbing the carpet, which is, by the way, is the most high you can fucking look, is to rub a carpet. But I'm doing that and just seeing these strands of fucking carpet come out and crawl over my hand and then join the carpet somewhere else, and being like, I know this isn't real, I know that's not happening, but it's fascinating to me that it is. And then the beings being like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, none of this is real." And they're like, "Well, none of this is real." I'm like, "No, but I mean, like, specifically, I know this carpet isn't fucking moving." And then you sort of come out of it. And I phoned my dad immediately, because he's a man of science. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, I've just done DMT. Here's what I saw. Explain this." And he was like, he said two things. He was like, one, that's what happens when you smoke dreams, which is a fair, like, DMT is what happens when you fucking, that's what our brain produces when we sleep. And second of all, he was like, "I bet you I can show you what you saw while you were on DMT." Like, he's like, "I bet you I can show you the visuals that you saw." And I was like, "There's no way you'll be able to do that." And he's like, 100%. Brought up this computer program that if you play any sort of movie on YouTube or whatever, it will also in the background do a Google image search of any animals or any sort of random images, and then randomly superimpose them into the video you're watching. Because when you're on certain types of drugs, it changes the way that lights refract in your eyes. So there's actual science behind what you see when you're on drugs. So it's not God or higher consciousness or, your inner soul fucking coming out. It's the fact that you've taken a bunch of fucking drugs that you only exist in your body when you dream normally.
Oh man, I am a really intense dreamer.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if
DMT
might fucking send me over the edge.
Well, you hear these stories.
I love that your dad, by the way, your dad might be the coolest dude in the world when he goes, "That's what happens when you smoke your dreams."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a lyric in a fucking song.
Yeah. But
then that's what happens when you smoke your dreams.
But he just means in the sense of, I was like, "Hey, I had this fucking," because I'm not a spiritual person. I don't believe in that fucking. To me, that's voodoo shit. There's nothing there. Fuck off. But I understand that. But in that moment, I was like, fucking, I felt like the most overwhelming sense of calm I've ever experienced in my life when I smoked DMT. It was like there was somebody just always out of my periphery who was just like, "Hey, everything's fine. I got you." Like
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
I
man.
want that.
There was no concept.
I'm gonna get the opposite though. I'll get the bad DMT trip.
No, man. Apparently, all I know, like, apparently, it's you just can't feel fear. Like that fucking moment there was.
But that's all I feel.
Fear. Well, maybe this is
all I feel was fear in life. Is this what DMT is like?
No. Oh yeah, a bit like the periphery stuff. Like, but you're still sort of in the room. But yeah, periphery. But then again, I also don't know how much of that comes from like these. We when we do psychedelics and we see these fucking visuals, we're like, "Oh my god, this is what psychedelics is." I don't know whether there's anything to be said from the other way. Like, when you grow up watching TV shows where people do psychedelics in it, you expect to see this shit. Like, I understand the subconscious. We don't know that much about it, but.
Yeah.
I think if you've spent 15 years watching TV shows where this is the shit when you see when you're on drugs, when you do drugs, your brain goes, "Hey, this is what you're meant to fucking see."
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a chicken or the egg scenario. Which came first?
Yeah, I don't have the balls to smoke DMT.
No,
I really don't. I think
but you'll do prescription drugs that were not prescribed to you.
Yeah.
See, this is
no. I mean, yeah, I will do those also. But yeah, I'm a booze guy. I'm really a booze guy. Booze
is my favorite.
I've always been a booze guy. It only backfired on me once.
Booze?
Meaning like, yeah, because I've always trusted booze. Like, booze has always been like, hey man, if we're worried about flying, you got me, right? And I'd be like, yeah.
But you're also, I imagine you're a good drunk.
I'm a great drunk.
See, the worst, that's the thing. The drunkest I get, the worst drunk I will be is asleep and slightly more arrogant than I already am. But normally,
Slightly more arrogant.
Slightly more arrogant.
I get that.
The moments that make me cringe the most when I remember being drunk is there's the occasion where I'll be like, and I'll tell you another thing about me, and I'm like, but that's the worst thing I do while drunk. It's not great, but that's the worst thing I've ever done while drunk is talk about how great I am. Drug is so therefore. Booze is my drug of choice because that's the worst version of myself I've been. Whereas other people, when they get drunk, they punch people in the head, and I'm like, you don't get to booze anymore. That's not your booze. That's not your drug of choice. It makes you a bad person.
Yeah, there's some people that booze gets into them, and it's like they turn into a like. My wife. I got to be honest with you. When my wife gets drunk, she's a little bit of a cunt. Like she just like a part of her. It's almost like she's been holding in some things and they come flying out, which might be true, by the way. But like she'll just say like, "Oh, fuck you," like just shit like that.
Yeah, and this is the one thing that sort of lets out. But then again, does she smoke much weed?
She won't smoke weed, and she's only been drunk as long as I've known her. She's only been drunk really, probably 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Just not her thing.
She'll have a glass of wine, but she doesn't get drunk. She's like, she's not that. That's the, like I like to get drunk. She likes to have a glass of wine and get a little buzz. And
see, to me, I consider that a level of self-control that is borderline psychopathic. Like,
I don't know how they do it.
Man, it blows my mind. People that they'll just come out and they'll be like, hey, can I have a pint? And then they'll do a pint. And then the waiter comes over and they're like, do you want another one? And they'll go, no. And you go, I'm sorry. Like,
what the fuck are you here for?
Like, what are you, Moses? Like, what are you?
Why would you even have the pint in the first place? Get a root beer if you're looking for the calories.
Like, yeah. Like, what? But why would you? Why get halfway there? Like, to me, having a drink and then not getting drunk is like just like wanking for a bit and then just getting to the vinegar strokes and being like, well, I gotta go shopping and then just not finishing. I'm like, what are you doing it for?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I had a beer. I had a beer the other morning with Tom, and
then you're just on it for the day.
And then I was like, well, that's how this day's going. And he just had one beer, and was like, all right, I'll see you. I'm gonna go work out. And I was like, you're gonna work out? Like, I cannot work out if I've had a beer. My day's over.
Big respect. As much as I am going to rip the shit out of people that can stop drinking because you're all psychopaths and I think you're all capable of murder, it is a level of self-control I do wish I had.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I don't know.
Because look, day drunk is one of the greatest things in the world.
Oh my God.
My God. When I'm given an opportunity to get day drunk, I'm just like, it's my birthday. Even if it's not my birthday, it is my birthday.
It's the greatest feeling.
And you can never be the one to suggest it. You can never be the one to suggest it.
Me, you, and Kai, before I leave and before you guys leave,
should we go get
a day drunk podcast?
I'm free. We're free Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay. Well, I'm free. I think I might have to go to some anime expo with my daughter Saturday.
Fuck yeah.
But I should be free Monday. And so we'll do a podcast here. How do you look on those days?
Sunday.
Let's see. So yeah, let me see if Sunday works.
Okay. Well,
drunk.
Yeah, we'll do a day drinking podcast where me and Kai get an Uber over here. Yeah. Because despite the fact
I'll get the Uber. Cool. I'll get you guys Uber here and back. But wait, hold on. No. Okay. Now let's talk the fine arts of day drinking.
Okay. Cool. Right. Yeah.
What's the perfect hour to start day drinking?
I think it is a drink with lunch. Yeah. So I think it's like you go there, it's like 12. It's got to be 12:30. Otherwise, even though 12 is technically afternoon, 12 is technically still morning drinking. You were counting down until it was the afternoon.
Okay.
You were mentally preparing to be morning drunk, and you've shown self-restraint to get to afternoon drunk. You have lunch. You have 1 or 2 pints with lunch, like whether it's pie, fucking chips, pizza, whatever.
Okay.
And then I would always start with something light that like it's a beer. Like I'm not drinking yet. Like for me, it's cider.
Oh, okay.
I love cider.
You know what's so funny? I did a day drinking in Alabama one time with my buddy Dave, and Dave Williamson, very funny comic, and we had sour beers. And I went, oh, this is great day drinking beers.
Yeah.
They're sour beers. And I was like, I actually really like these.
It's fruity cider in the sun.
Okay, let's
tricks you into.
Let's plan. Okay. Let's plan the podcast first. Let me real quick make sure I'm free Sunday. I'm gonna text Leanne. Let's plan the perfect
like our perfect version of what day drinking is and we can talk about the values of shots.
And then if you're listening to this, realize that next week, a podcast with me, you, and Kai is going to come out,
and you can
day drink with us.
Oh, that's so good!
So we're going to do
it at the same pace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try to keep pace with us. We're going to have the beers. We're going to.
But no. That's the one point I will say. Do not. I have to say to so many people when I come over here, please do not drink at the pace that I drink at, because I am a seasoned pro. Like with, and Kai's a seasoned pro, and I know you're a seasoned pro. And as much as like there are definitely podcast listeners that you have that would be able to keep toe to toe with us, I'm going to safely assume it's not. It's less than 20% of them. Like, it's not.
One of my favorite stories of someone assuming they could keep pace with me was a young lady in Indiana. You've heard this story. I'm sure I've told this story. And she said, "I'm going to drink you under the table." And I just thought, that's like me. It must be what it sounds like when I tell Joe I'm going to beat him in Sober October. Like, it must be what that sounds like to Joe when he goes, "You don't." I can take it to the. Yeah, you don't understand the gears I have.
It would be like me walking up to Joe Rogan and being like, "Hey, I will choke you the fuck out," and Joe Rogan going, "I'm not even going to spar with you." That's just sad. You small, pasty, skinny boy.
I went up behind Eddie Bravo one time, and to like take him down. Yeah. I went like, and he goes, "No, that's the biggest mistake you could ever make. All I do is choke people unconscious." Like, and you don't know what you're. Oh my God! Like, and I was like, "What? You don't think I could like catch you off guard?" And he was like, "No, you couldn't catch me off guard. I am trained to be caught off guard." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's actually one of the main bits I train for. Is being caught off guard. And also, what part of you suggesting you could catch me off guard? I hear and see everything.
It was so funny, but yeah. So let's plan the perfect day drinking now. Noon is the perfect hour, correct?
Noon is perfect hour. What I would say is if me and Kai come over here for, I tell you what it is. Me and Kai will bring over pizzas.
Oh, no. Let me take care of everything.
Okay.
Let me take care of everything. Do you want, we can do pizza. We can do a crudité. We can do barbecue. We can do anything.
Well, you know what? It's Kai's first proper time in LA, so you can be
we can do sushi.
Oh well, no, it's day drinking. Let's not pretend we're classy.
Yeah,
like we're literally. Yeah, no, we are literally planning day drinking. That's sushi's a level of class we don't deserve at this point. It's burritos, it's pizza.
Yeah, I know, and I got food poisoning from sushi.
Yeah, no.
Should we do tacos? Should we do
tacos? Is always. I think always it's got to have a good level of fucking carbs and fucking meat, and it's also something that you can.
All right, we'll get those good. Oh, okay. We'll figure so. We got this, and so then we'll get some food, and we'll start with beer.
Yeah, I don't drink beer, so
or cider. You said,
yeah.
Cider. So
it's such a new concept, and it's the thing that always happens when I'm in America because I don't drink beer. I do drink whiskey, but the only reason I drink whiskey now is because I was so sick of Americans being like, "You must drink whiskey because you're Scottish," and I was like. Well, I mean, no, but I'm now I really want to represent my country. Like I'm like, yeah, no, I'll drink whiskey. I'm getting more into it. But cider is the one over here. I've always had people being like, you drink just that. Like,
I don't even know what cider is.
So it's hard. It's such a big thing in the UK and the rest of Europe. Yeah. Oh man, it's fucking phenomenal. You just get shit-faced off. It's like beer that tastes nice. No, Kai says the reason I don't like beer is because I've never worked a real day in my life, and I think that might be right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I got to a point, this is when I really started putting on weight, where I said I was having beers all the time, and sometimes I didn't even want to drink, but then I would go, I'm not even feeling the beers, but I am drinking. Why don't I just have a root beer? Because I really like root beers.
Yeah.
I really like root beer. Like, root beer might be my favorite thing in the world. And I love root beer. And then And then I was just drinking fucking like 8 root beers.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And now I'm on a life. I'm changing my life. But
is it one of those things that just whenever you take a sip of it, it just gives you that fucking taste nostalgia back to a worst point in your life?
I don't know. There's a couple things that if I put them in my mouth, I get overwhelmed. Like
dick
being one of them. But no, cake. Like if I put cake in my mouth, the roof of my mouth tingles, and I sometimes will close my eyes.
No, sorry. That's the most Bert Kreischer sentence I've ever heard in my life. Whenever I put, am I now in an advert for cake? You're just when I put cake in my mouth starts tingling. My mouth literally jizzes. I
had one thing in my mouth one time where I start going. Maybe I'll see if I can get some things that we put in our mouths that'll make us like lose our shit.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is the thing always with drinking, and you will offer it to us, and I'm going to put my foot down now and say no, because here's the thing: me and Kai don't know how to say no, and here's the thing about toxic masculinity is if you tell me to do something with the sort of, coup d'etat that it's like, hey, this is a manly thing to do, I will do it, even if it goes against my best interest. Do not offer us marijuana while we're drinking. For the love of... And at the end of the podcast, yes, but what you do know, Kai's accent, I'm already thrilled to imagine you getting used to Kai's accent and your podcast listeners getting to Kai's accent. I'm very used to it. He gigs in America now. He knows how to slow it down, but it'll take you 2 or 3 minutes.
From?
He's from Newcastle. He's from called Blythe in Scotland. In England. It's so north of England that the Scots like them. They're Newcastle.
Where are you from in Scotland?
I grew up in a place called Fife.
Is that north?
All of Scotland's north.
No, but because Glasgow's south, right?
Glasgow's south of southwest. My accent's from as far north as you can go. My dad's from Thurso, so it's really, really far north. I grew up in Fife. That's like sort of It's middle of Scotland, coastal, and Fife is, it's a fucking shithole. But it's our shithole. There's some nice places in it, but it's very Scotland.
Yeah, I love Scotland.
It's fucking great. Oh yeah. Oh no. We'll finish the perfect drinking plans, and then I'll ask you because I wanted to talk to you about the European tour dates because we cross over in a lot of the cities.
Yeah. All right. So then.
And then are we doing... so I'm saying no weed until the end. We'll do a couple of fucking drinks. And then obviously we'll bring in shots.
Should bring in shots.
Because what's your shot choice?
Does Kai drink cider?
Kyle drink anything you put in front of him.
Well, then we'll get some cider. I haven't had cider, and that seems like a good day of drinking. Yeah. And maybe I'll get a couple sour beers to see if you guys like sour beers. And then we'll do some shots. My favorite thing to shoot is not vodka. It's I would argue maybe tequila, but... there's a certain tequila I really like. I used to love Fireball, but then
Fireball I loved until I was in Sweden for 2 weeks.
Everyone's got a until I went. That should be Fireball's.
You love Fireball until the one day you don't, and then you'll never drink it again.
I was on a cruise with Ari. I was on the Impractical Jokers cruise.
Yeah.
And the last night there, I drank so much Fireball the next day. It was a combination of sugar and being hungover. So much sugar in my body and being hungover. I couldn't write the boat for 24 hours. I couldn't write the boat. It was bad. And I had to do a show that night, and they all went partying in New Orleans. Yeah. And I couldn't go. I went back to my room.
And they also want the machine. They want Bert Kreischer the party.
Oh,
and you're just
God.
I'm a tum-tum.
Wait, when was your last day of
Fireball was because it was big in Sweden because basically it was made illegal in a lot of Europe because they found a lot of traces of just like fucking like antifreeze in it, the stuff you put. So there was a whole bunch of illegal, well not illegal, but just like this isn't for consumption in it. But fucking Scandinavia did not get the memo. Like Sweden, they were just like, we're so beautiful. We do nothing kills us. We live for and it was their one shot, that and their fucking fisherman friends drink. But I was like 21 or 22 at the time, so I could throw shots back like fucking nothing else. Then you'd wake up the next day, you'd drive somewhere else. By the time you're hungover, but this, the thing about Fireball, it puts fucking fire in your belly. Yeah. Like you get that, being like, okay, I can get back into it. And then I think it's the day you taste it coming back up. It's when you drink too much Fireball that you spend just basically the closest any of us will ever become to being actual fucking dragons. It's just that blah, and then and then just the next day that fucking acidic burp.
I was so bad that day. I've never had a shot of Fireball since. I remember when I was 14.
Well, you know at this point everyone listening to the podcast now is like, well, our day drinking session is when we've got to bring Fireball out of retirement.
No, fuck
Like,
that.
I'm not suggesting we do it.
I say
I'm
do.
just telling you right now that's what's happening on the Twitter web.
I can shoot. Maybe we'll do picklebacks.
Kai loves picklebacks.
I love picklebacks.
I mean, they're disgusting, but I'll do them.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to go to the liquor store and really take my time with
Okay,
this.
cool. Really think about us. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a bunch of different beers. We're gonna have a cooler on ice. Halston, are you gonna drink with us? Halston's gonna have a few beers.
We'll get day drunk and then absolutely ruin our evening.
Oh, or not.
Well, yeah, or not. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Ruin everyone else who has to hang out with her evening. We'll have the time of our fucking lives.
I just texted my wife. Can I podcast Sunday? Yep, we're on. Sunday
yes,
at noon.
done.
Sunday at noon.
Done.
It's gonna be fucking perfect.
Fuck yes.
And then, oh, that's great. Europe was fucking amazing.
Where did you go?
I started in Brighton.
Great. Yeah.
Loved Brighton.
It's a fucking cool city.
Really loved Brighton.
Yeah. Brighton is like it's one of the only places in the UK that's like that, where it's just fucking cool. It feels like feels very Californian, apart from the lack of sun.
We went down to the beach at night, drank at the beach, stayed in a great hotel, great show in a comedy club, which was really nice.
The Comedia?
Yeah, Comedia.
It's a fucking
because I
great
hadn't
club.
played in a comedy club in like 6 months, and so it was my first time back in a comedy club, like in a smaller venue, and I was like, oh, this is fucking great. I had a blast. I got to fuck around with my hours. My hour, theaters hours are so
Tight that you've just
it's literally tight. And now I just went off the rails and we fucked around. And then I wrote the joke that I told all through everywhere else. I said, I wrote right there. I tried to talk to some lady and I couldn't understand what she was saying. And I said, I feel like Richard Pryor did when he went to Africa. Like, I know you're my same color, but I don't know what you're saying. And I told that throughout the entire tour. Then the next night we went to Bath.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's another beautiful city.
I loved Bath.
Yeah, because it's got the proper Bath's proper history. That's all the Roman. It's called Bath because it's where all the Roman baths were. It was where they had all the plumbing.
It was Bath was beautiful. And once again, I made the fucking astute decision to get the night. They give you your management will give you like 3 choices of hotel rooms. Yeah, here's the cheapest. Here's one by the location. Here's a nice one.
Yeah.
And so I took the nice one in every fucking place we went.
Yeah.
I just got the nice one. It wasn't like $100 more. It was like $30 more sometimes. And every hotel was amazing. And I also made the decision to rent a Sprinter to drive us from gig to gig, as opposed to get on trains.
A Sprinter,
Like a nice van.
Oh yeah. Well, especially when you're doing the fucking UK, like that, of course you fucking drive everywhere. It's just easier. Like I always think like the UK is so small compared to what America is.
Yeah.
Like
and then I think we went from Bath to London to this can't be good. A&T alert fraud. God damn it.
Have
I
you been
knew that was
scammed?
going to fucking happen to me. I lost my credit card. So then we went to London. London was fucking, and every place we went, we go out and party with. I tell everyone where I'm going to drink, and everyone will meet us.
Where did you go in London?
Right next door.
Where were you playing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's an old place that they just reopened. I don't know.
Leicester Square Theatre.
Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, Royal Albert Hall.
I'm joking.
I've done Royal Albert Hall, but not the main room. There's other rooms in the Royal Albert Hall.
I forget where I did in London. Went to London, then went from London to Glasgow, and Glasgow to Manchester.
Okay,
not Manchester. Was it Manchester? Yeah, it was Manchester. Yeah. And I have never. I'll tell you what. Next time I do Europe, I would do it. I do it so much slower.
And I would you want time in each of the fucking cities, man.
And I want to do more of it.
Yeah.
Like everyone kept saying, like, how come you didn't come to Wales?
Cardiff is great. Here's the ones I would recommend every comic do on their fucking tour. Tallinn, Estonia.
Hackney Art Centre is what I did in London.
Hackney Art Centre, I know that one. Tallinn in Estonia is unbelievable.
What?
Estonia.
Go to Estonia?
Oh, so Tallinn.
Start with just UK.
With UK, Glasgow's fucking great. You've obviously done that one. Best places to gig in the UK are Glasgow, Edinburgh. But I'm biased. I'm from Edinburgh. I grew up there. Where else is fucking great? Manchester's great. Liverpool's very good to fucking
go to
kick in.
Liverpool.
They're also, I mean, some of the places in the UK are the biggest shitholes in the fucking world, and that's why they're the best places to gig.
We were
there's Estonia.
I took Mark Norman with me, and we were so excited. We had so much fucking fun, and even the train was fucking great because it was 4 of us on the train, and so we'd get in that little face-to-face thing. And we were driving up to Glasgow. We were just like looking at all the farms and the creeks, and we saw the ocean, and it was fucking amazing. And then we did Stockholm, Norway, Amsterdam, Belgium, somewhere in Brussels, not Brussels, but
Antwerp,
Ghent. Maybe another couple places in Scandinavia.
Yeah, it was the Belgian ones with Big Tom.
What's that?
Was the guy was the person that took you around in Belgium, Tom?
No.
Okay.
I had one tour manager for all of that,
okay.
and then we ended in Dublin. Dublin's probably one of the better shows I've ever had.
Yeah, when you do Dublin, as much as I also do Belfast next time you go over. It's
really?
Belfast is Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So you do both. Belfast is, it's fucking great.
The Scandinavian leg was it was stressful because you had to fly every day. I don't like flying at all.
Yeah.
And so that was stressful. But, I managed to get through it. Having Mark Norman with me kind of saved my life a little bit because he is so, I mean this in the best way possible, but there's so much part of him that's a little bit of a mess that it makes you giggle. It's like hanging out with a buddy who's like, yeah, man, I can't stop gambling. And you're like, what? And you're like, and then you go, but it was just like, I mean, I wish I can't tell them, I have to tell them off camera, but like he was so fucking funny that even at the airport, he was just making me giggle because he's just a joke guy. So everything about him is just jokes. Everything's about a bit or a premise. He's nonstop thinking about it. So he really kind of redirected the way I was thinking of comedy. Because sometimes I get on the road and I just think about myself. You know?
Yeah.
And then when you go, oh, that's right, but I'm a comic. I should be able to write jokes while I'm doing this. And so I would have one beer at the airport before takeoff. I'd have a couple beers in the air. Get to where we went, sleep, wake up, and then we party hard as fuck all night.
Fuck yeah.
That was great.
We've done that some of the places in Europe, but it's always the flights that the next day fucking suck. Did you do Slovakia on this tour?
No. So tell me the other places.
Oh, right. So Bratislava, Slovakia is fucking great. And if you go there at the weekend, there's a place in it called Metalkova, which is basically just the police agreed to kind of not go there. It's like it's a park, a children's park, but obviously there's no kids there because it's fucking nighttime. There's a club over there, but everyone's just out drinking on the streets. And the way you get into booze is there's just houses there, which people live in. So you go into their house and they're like, hey, do you want some wine? And you're like, yeah. And they just pour you a plastic cup of wine and they go, that's €2. And then you just go back outside, drink with fucking everyone.
That's like Christiania.
It's exactly like Christiania.
Christiania was so
in Denmark.
fucking great.
Oh, man, it's the best. So Metalkova is like that in Slovakia. Thoroughly.
And is this it?
That's yes, it's in Ljubljana. Yes, yeah. Oh, sorry, no. I'm sorry to all the Slovenians. Sorry, it is Metalkova's in Ljubljana, Slovenia. Sorry, not Slovakia or Bratislava. I meant. Oh God, I've just annoyed a very small section of Eastern Europe. But yeah, Ljubljana is one of our main guys' favorite places to gig. The audiences are outstanding there.
Really,
the city is beautiful, and they drink like kings. That being said, so do the. Bratislava is less beautiful, but they also drink.
Ari texted me, said you have to go to Christiania.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay. And by the way, I'm not technically like I traveled so much for Travel Channel that a part of me is a little numb because if you tell me something's cool, I've seen something 100 times cooler, and I saw it in the most amazing way you could ever get that cool experience. Like my wife when we were in Australia is like, I want to see the blue forest or whatever, the Blue Mountains, and I go, okay. She was like, you don't seem excited. And I went, well, I've been there, and I went there in a helicopter, and I was there with an Aborigine. Like, I mean, it's like everything I did. So,
yeah, I've seen it at number 11.
Number 11 for everything, and I did it around the world for 9 years. I traveled with Travel Channel. So like, he goes, you got to go to Christiania, and I was like, okay. And then, but in my head, I was like, I've never seen a lawless city. Like, I've never seen that. I spent an evening in a shanty town in South Africa, which was technically lawless. But and experienced that, but I wasn't technically scared because I was with 11 people.
Yeah.
And so we went to Christiania, and it was really cool.
So it's part of Copenhagen where the police just agreed to not go, and you can buy, even though marijuana is illegal in Denmark, you can go there to buy it, but everyone there wears masks and stuff. You're not allowed to take any photos.
No photos. Mark Norman's going through. This is why you gotta love Mark Norman. Going through, clearly taking pictures.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Give me your phone." It's like, "Go fuck yourself." And then he's like, "No, delete it right now. I need to see you delete it." Mark's like, "Sure." Didn't delete it.
Yeah.
And so, but there's this little like marijuana alley, like where like all the drug dealers right up front.
Yeah.
And what was amazing is watching the cops roll through and see them grab their shit, scatter, and disappear.
Yeah, and then
slowly fill back up.
It's literally like don't like the negative connotations of this, but cockroaches when you turn the light on.
Yeah.
Like that.
I kept liking it to the ocean, like watching a wave come in
Yeah.
and then go away and go, will it come back? Of course it does.
Yeah.
I bought so much weed. And then perfect example of what is beautiful to travel with Mark is he's like, I don't smoke weed. It makes me crazy. Don't even offer it to me. I don't want it. And you're like, okay. And so we go have a couple beers. I buy some weed. I take a hit and I go, you want something? He's like, fine, I'll do it. And then next thing you know, he's tweaking.
Yeah.
We went and sat by it was fucking, Christiania was pretty fucking cool.
And there's fucking really good food in there as well. Like there's they've got little restaurants in the middle where they just literally make food for stoners because they're like, we know our clientele from this fucking region.
Yeah, I bought all the girls' sweatshirts from Christiania.
Yeah.
And I bought a ton of stickers. They're all the stickers right there, Austin. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
We should put stickers on these.
So you've done Christiania, Denmark. Ljubljana, Slovenia. It's a really good place to fucking gig as well. Like,
really
great audiences. Same with Estonia. Lithuania is fucking great.
Lithuania.
Yeah, you wouldn't fucking expect it, but like, Lithuania is a beautiful place.
There's certain markets in the world where they go, oh, you got to do Singapore, big market in Singapore, and you're like, huh? And then all of a sudden, 900 people show up. You're like, what the fuck?
Man, they're all there. That's the good thing about, as much as I've, can bitch and complain about the fucking internet, we've been able to tour in Europe for about 7 years, and it's because people in Eastern Europe especially, they just watch like American comedy on television. So they watched all my spots on fucking Conan and stuff. So they watch all this stuff.
That one Conan clip's got like almost 1 million views.
Yeah, and man, they're all fans of the fucking Joe Rogan podcast out there. Like, to anyone that's done that show, I'm like, man, there is this market in Europe that is desperate for you to get out there because nobody's going out there, because as Brits and Americans, we just assume that the rest of the world is as stupid as we are. So for me, if you were like, hey, do you want to come and listen to comedy in French? I'd be like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know like 7 French words. I'm not going to understand what he's saying, let alone the nuance and the, the puns and the twist of line. Whereas they're just so smart in segments of Eastern Europe that they get sarcasm, they get fucking references for things they've never had before.
That's what blew me away about the European leg, was that I didn't change anything in my act.
Yeah.
Bill had said that to me. I think he was getting, we were kind of switching spots, like meaning like he'd do a city and then I was following him. And he had done a little bit of a tour right before then, and he was like, I was like, do you change it up? And he goes, nah, they fucking get the internet. They get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't change any reference, and everyone got everything. I got to be honest with you, it was fucking amazing. It was really fucking amazing.
It's the best. It's one of the things I look forward to every year is the fucking European tour. Mind you, we're also about to tour fucking America for the first time.
So tell me about the tour of America. It's you and Kai?
Me and Kai. Kai just got his fucking visa approved last week, so we didn't know whether he was going to be able to come out and support, but he can. So we're doing like 25 dates across America.
Would you have them online somewhere?
Yeah, DanielSloss.com. They're all up there.
I want to see where you're going.
You can tell me where the shitholes are and where's.
I can't wait. Just like you're talking about Slovenia, and then I'm like stone faced. I'll take a look at your tour dates and go, okay, I'll tell you what's going on.
Is there any chance also before we I need to piss so fucking
Go piss
badly.
while your tour dates go up. I'll walk them through your tour dates while you go piss. Okay, Los Angeles at Largo. Of course, they're going to love them because they have accents. San Francisco, Palace of the Fine Arts. They're going to love San Francisco. Phoenix, interesting. San Diego, Boulder, Salt Lake City is one at Salt Lake City. Interesting they're doing Boulder and not Denver. Salt Lake City is one of the best stand-up markets in the fucking world that has been overlooked for so fucking long. Mostly because I think everyone just assumed Mormons don't have sense of humor. Mormons have the best sense. I said a joke on stage the other night. I go, I've never met a Mormon I didn't like. But the other day I met 7 Vietnamese people that I fucking hated. Let's see if that goes in the
I
act.
grew up in a Mormon town, and they're the nicest people ever.
I love Mormons.
So nice.
I love Mormons. You know they fuck through a hole in a sheet?
Yeah, they got Mormon underwear.
I just made that up. I don't know if that's true. Let's go through where are we at. Boulder, Salt Lake City, Minneapolis. Minneapolis, they're going to fucking love that. Cedar Cultural Center. I don't know any of these places. Egyptian Room, and I think I did the Egyptian Room in Indianapolis.
Yeah, you did.
Is that where I did?
Yeah.
Buckhead Theater in Atlanta, great. I missed Kansas City, Madison, Chicago, Indianapolis, Atlanta, Columbus. Columbus is like fucking.
Ooh, I heard the House of Blues is fun to play.
Where?
Down in Houston.
Let's get there. Columbus, Pittsburgh. God damn it, Pittsburgh's fucking so great.
Yeah.
I got it. What day are you there? Oh, are you driving to these places?
No, we're flying everywhere.
Flying?
Yeah.
I wish you could. I want you to do my friend's radio show in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Cleveland. Cleveland's fucking amazing.
I've actually done Cleveland before.
Toronto, St. Louis, Houston, Dallas, New Orleans, Nashville, and then you go back.
Yeah,
You end in Nashville?
Yeah, so the day after Nashville is back home to the UK, I think.
Okay, let's scroll down the top. I'm going to tell you about your cities, okay? You start in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so I've done Largo before.
Yeah,
so
easy
that's
peasy.
good, yeah.
They're going to love you.
San Francisco,
San Francisco, Los Angeles are going to be easy home runs for you guys. Phoenix is a great comedy fucking town.
The one thing I've been consistently told by people is that I'm going to fucking die in just heat wise.
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. It's aggressive. It gets in your mouth. Like your mouth gets hot.
Fuck it. See, that's... I don't know fucking the conversions between Celsius and Fahrenheit, but 25 degrees Celsius is my boiling point as a Scotsman.
Just so you know, I think it gets to about
I think it's 42.
50 degrees Celsius.
I just need somebody to follow me around with a hose like I'm a horny dog and just fucking spray me the entire time. It's not going to be good.
Phoenix is great comedy. For the longest time, they've had 2 of the staples of comedy clubs in this country. Where's this Tempe Improv?
Yeah.
And Stand Up Live in Phoenix.
Fuck yeah.
San Diego's amazing. You've been to San Diego though, I'm sure, right?
I've not been to San Diego.
Oh,
yeah.
You're gonna love San Diego. You're going to love San Diego. Boulder.
I've been to Denver, Colorado. I've not been to Boulder yet.
Who did you routing?
Basically the way we do it is we give an autistic child a map and a crayon and he just fucking goes nuts, and then we just
because I would have done Salt Lake City, then Boulder.
Oh, so here's the thing. The only reason we're doing it this way is because like it's my first American tour, and as you will well know, Netflix do not tell you anything. Yeah. So we have no idea how well we're doing. I'm like, I've always wanted to tour America. It's all I've wanted to fucking do. Like that's to me is the sign of fucking making it. So they're just like, should we add on dates? I'm like, anywhere. Send me red state, send me fucking blue state, send me all over, and we'll see where's good. But because we don't know venue sizes, in some places we're like 300 seats here, and like Toronto sold out, and then we've added 900 seats in other places, and they're like, you shouldn't have added 900 seats in that fucking area. That was a dumb idea.
Yeah.
So this is very much a litmus test tour.
Everyone's first tour of this country. Like, so we get raised doing comedy clubs for the weekends, and then what would happen is a lot of the alt comics would call that a tour because they didn't understand how comedy worked, because they were fucking for them it was about marketing as opposed to a job. Like they wanted to be famous, they wanted to be writers on a show or a showrunner. They were just Hollywood people. They weren't comics. Like a comic, in my opinion, always has been someone who goes out and does the road, does the clubs at home, does the road on the road. And
all they want is to be a stand-up. If you go,
their pure love is stand-up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of the alt comics love was stand-up. They wanted to be movie stars.
Yeah, they got into comedy because they couldn't find a way to get ahead in acting normally. So they used to be on stage, quick way to be seen.
Yeah, and so it would always aggravate me. It really would, because I'm talking about MySpace days. But you'd see comics that you knew that lived in LA, and they'd be like, "I'm going on tour. This year's tour is the comedy tour." And I'm ripping off Patton. I love Patton. I'm not shitting on Patton, but they would just do clubs for a weekend, and not even every weekend. Just like, I'm doing this. Every date they do that year was considered their tour, and I was like, "No, man.
Yeah, you're just on the road.
Yeah,
you're just
on the road.
You're doing clubs in different cities.
Yeah.
It's not a tour. A
tour is I leave in January and I come back in March.
Yeah,
that's a tour.
That's a real tour.
And I was always I would never call anything a tour until I did the Body Shots tour, and But your first,
if you get it, for example, if somebody gives you a tour of their house, right, and you fuck off like halfway through the tour, it stops being a tour of the house. The entire tour of the house is from the moment like, this is this. If you just randomly went to the garden, into the fucking neighbor's house, and be like, okay, I'll see the rest of the house next weekend, you're not getting a tour of the house. You're visiting someone's house at multiple fucking times. It's not a tour of the house.
That is the most brilliant fucking statement I've ever heard in our business about us. Thank you.
You've got to. It's a tour is the one thing the whole time.
But so what I was saying about this tour and my tour is they throw your first tour of a market. They throw you out and go, I think, I don't know.
Let's see where the shit sticks.
And then all of a sudden you're like...
I've got to stress, I find that shit exciting. Like the first time we did Europe, that was it. She was just like, do you want to go to Vienna? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Can we? Let's find out.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Yeah, and so Phoenix is hot as fuck. San Diego's beautiful. Boulder's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard that's my type of say. Bunch of
Salt Lake City's one of the best. I was just saying this early. One of the best comedy markets in the world.
Really?
Everyone says that because of the Mormons.
Yeah.
They think it's going to be... There's weird fucking rules.
It's the only thing I know about Salt Lake City is from the Book of Mormon. And that is...
Oh.
Yeah.
It is so much more. We were just saying everyone loves Mormons. Mormons are awesome. They are weird as fuck. Like you can't...
But not in a malicious way.
No, not in a religious way, in like the drinking way. My whole thing always comes down to like their laws are a little weird. Like they pour drinks behind a curtain. They can't let you see them pour their drink. So they
Where? At a bar?
At a bar, they have like a curtain. I think it's called Gideon's curtain or Joseph's curtain, and they pour drink behind. Like it's like almost like a magic act. And then I swear to God, and then they give it to you. You can't order doubles. Zion's curtain. Zion's curtain is what it's called. They pour it behind a curtain, and then you can't stand up with a drink. You have to sit down with your drink.
Well on board with that.
You can't, like if you stand at a bar, they kick you out. I'm not, by the way, I'm giving you niche parts of the state because I've traveled Utah pretty extensively, and I've been kicked out of a Buffalo Wild Wings for standing and drinking. Yeah. I was kicked out because
was your shirt also off? I did a
no, my shirt. But I got kicked out. I've been kicked out of a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings.
That does not shock me in any way.
I want that on my tombstone. This man's been kicked out of. But I love Buffalo. It's you know what it's like. Here's the problem. It's like, okay, you can't say that Asians are bad drivers. Mm-hmm. Asians are just as bad drivers as white people. The problem is there's so many more Asians in this world that you're going to run into the numbers are going to raise.
But it's also every time you see a white person being a bad driver, because that stereotype doesn't exist in your head, it doesn't add to it. The second you see a bad driver, and it's the same thing with the argument of like women in comedy, which is like there's so many brilliant female comedians, but when a woman bombs on stage, everyone goes, all women aren't funny. Whereas if one of us dies on stage, they're just like, well, that's just another comic.
Yeah.
And
that's my thing with Buffalo Wild Wings. I was going to so many Buffalo Wild Wings for a period of time that my percentage of getting kicked out was just going to be higher than anywhere else because Buffalo Wild Wings was my go-to place.
Yeah,
I fucking love Buffalo Wild Wings. Love Buffalo Wild Wings. I think they reached out to me to do some spokesman people, and I was like, nah, I don't want to ruin my Buffalo Wild Wings experience.
Yeah, and also I do it for free. Why are you
trying?
Small
money that you would pay me would fuck me up every time I got into a Buffalo Wild Wings. I just love Buffalo Wild Wings. Anyway, you're gonna love Utah. Fucking Salt Lake City is awesome. Minneapolis, amazing. Kansas City, I will tell you this, always hit or miss.
Okay.
I will only say that because the Kansas City Improv, it was like a weird ticket sale for a long time. Then I did the theater there, and I swear to God, it was like all these people that had never heard of me showed up. So it's like it's a weird.
Oh, it's one of the. So we get that in fucking happens a lot in art centers in the UK. You get a bunch of people who've never heard of you, but they want to support their local theater. So they're like, hey, there's this thing on. We'll go. Not like
that's
that.
not even it. It's you know what it is? It was like they had a club. I think it was called Sanford and Sons in Kansas City, and that was where everyone went to see their comedy. And then they showed up with an improv or a funny bone, and we'd all come in there. But it was almost like. You know, the biggest thing in comedy that I learned is, and I hope this doesn't sound disrespectful, but training your audience to find you certain places. Like that's the biggest thing the biggest problem I had in Australia, and I had a 3 times better tour this time than I did last. Sold 3 times the tickets this tour than I did last tour of Australia. However, and here's my problem, is I got recognized in Australia more than I've been recognized in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And people would be like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm on tour. You're like, if you're like, people go, dude, I'm the biggest fucking fan. Why are you here?
Oh man, right.
And I'm like,
my Instagram is just filled with me, man. I don't know if you can see, even at Beyond this in July, I'm on tour for the rest of my fucking life. I'm doing Russia, I'm doing Tokyo, Singapore,
Jesus
I'm doing Europe, all
Christ.
this fucking things. I'm going to all of these places. This is such a long tour list that my stance now is, if I'm not coming near you, it's your turn to fucking fly. Like I'm coming near enough to everyone in the world.
okay, that is the most impressive tour date schedule I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, it's brutal. Like it's amazing. I cannot fucking wait. But it's till December 14th, and it's from Europe to Russia to Asia. I've done the Australian one. I've done everywhere this fucking year.
So wait, so to go back to what I was saying is training your audience. I will make this clear because it sounds condescending, but training your audience to find you in certain places is the number one thing that when you go to theaters, they're like, your audience has been going to comedy clubs. Those are people who go, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, they go, what do you want to do tonight? Let's see comedy. We love comedy. We love Bert. We love this. Yeah. Check out the improv. See who they got. As opposed to
Googling your favorite people.
Yeah, let's go to bertcast.com and see what his tour dates are. And so that's the hardest part. And Kansas City was a place, I believe, and I could be speculating, but they were trained a certain way to go, Sanford and Son brings them in. Let's see what Sanford and Son's doing. As opposed to, that's why a lot of times you'll pair up with in Philly, when I go to Helium, I pair up with Mark Grossman and I have him co-promote. I think I did the last time I was in Philly, and say, hey man, do you mind sending out an email blast to your people? And
then getting them into mine.
Yeah, because they'll go, oh, Bert's not going to be at Helium this year. He's going here. Well, if I want to see him this year, I'll see him here. That's what I say about Kansas City, but Kansas City is fucking amazing. Everywhere you're going, Madison.
Oh, I've done Comedy on State is one of my favorite comedy clubs in the world. Yeah. So I love Madison, as I say.
Those
sisters
as an audience are fucking
the fucking best. And Big Joe that works there, it's one of the places I can't wait to go there, do the show, and then run to Comedy on State and just say hi to the fucking staff.
I'm taking a look at seeing New Orleans is a weird comedy audience.
I've heard the city's the best.
Oh my God, yes. Oh God, yes. But New Orleans and Nashville for me have always been tough sells, only because although this year I guess it wasn't, but there's no comedy club there.
Yeah.
So there was they're not. It's one of those things. It's just, all it is finding the dialogue of going with your fans to say, this is how you can find me. I know there's a dickload of people in this country that love you.
Yeah.
But they just, you got to get. That's why I love Instagram.
I see that's my, but I snap on Instagram all the time. It's part of a fucking bit now, thank God. But it's just basically, because my fans are lovely people and they're very funny, that means they're all also the worst cunts in the fucking world because they know what winds me up and they like winding me up, because why would they not? It's funny to wind people up. It's a precedent I've set for myself. I've dug myself into a very deep hole.
Oh, myself included.
Yeah, you've got to drink.
Jesus Christ.
But every time I'm on Instagram, I'm like, hey, here's the American tour dates. And they'll be like, when are you in Salt Lake City? I'm like, read the fucking list.
Yeah.
I just posted.
I wish I could
just go to the website. It's all
one of my friends.
there.
One of my friends, a comedian named Jen Kirkman.
I know Jen.
Yeah, so Jen always is pushing people to get on the newsletter. She probably deals with it more because I always see her talking going how the fuck can I not? how, like, every time I come to your city, the next day I get a list. When are you coming to my city?
Yeah.
She goes, you'll know that if you go to my newsletter. Dane and I really kind of said, what's the newest approach? For me right now, it's Instagram, but not everyone, you know, like a lot, like my younger people that are younger than like me, they don't fuck with Instagram. They go Snapchat, you know?
But
I'm not doing Snapchat.
I did, but the only reason I was ever on Snapchat was this for the same reason people were originally on Snapchat, which was to
See tits.
and to send dick pics to girls. I was saying, so
Yeah.
it's just
My daughter came up to me when she was in 7th grade, maybe. My oldest daughter.
Wait, so just for translation for me, what age is that?
13.
Cool.
13, maybe. And she said, hey, Dad, are you on Snapchat? And I said, actually, I am.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah. Is your name Romeo Horsecock on Snapchat? And I went, oh, fuck. Because in my head, I was like, I'm not going to use my real name.
I'm sorry.
I'm like,
It's your name,
Romeo Horsecock. It was an old joke. An old joke I had about this joke's now 15 years old, is the first time I told her I was on tour with the Jameson Irish Comedy Store. And I said, you know, I had a daughter. I'm having another daughter. I'm having another child. If it's a son, people go, you want to give it a strong name, but like not too, like something masculine, but still romantic. And I said, I think the most masculine romantic name I can think of is Romeo Horsecock.
And it is, but I'm just more interested because the time that you got Snapchat, you're still semi-famous. You're just like, I'm not going to put Bert Kreischer. I'm going to go for a 15-year-old joke.
Dude, I have an email. I should use this. Oh, fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. There's when Gmail started.
Oh, yeah.
I picked Romeo Horsecock at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And my wife still has that attached to her computer. She sent an email to the Girl Scouts that got sent out through there, and the woman fucking flagged it and then replied to my wife, I'm sorry, your email just came from this sender. And Leanne was fucking appalled. She was like, oh my God, why would you ever
pretend it's French? Romeo Horsecock.
Romeo
Yeah,
Horsecock.
just be like, you can put it on them. You can be like, no, it's actually rom.io.
Dude, I've thought of so many ways.
Horsecock's still fucked though.
I've thought of so many ways to try to connect with my fans in an intimate way so that we can, like, and I got a phone, I got another phone, I got a burner phone,
and
I got a burner phone number, and I was like, I'm gonna give this phone number out so that I can do like a mass text to my fans, and then they can call, and if I'm around that phone and it's on and I'm drinking late night, someone calls, I'll answer them, we'll talk, and Rogan immediately goes, horrific idea.
Yeah.
Ari goes, Joe, didn't you do that for a second? And he goes, I sure did. That is the worst idea in the world. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah, Bert, because for all those
it's not the normal ones that are going to phone you.
No, it's not, it's not a fucking father of twos. Like, hey man, I'm going through some shit with child rearing. I feel like I'm not connecting with my daughters. Man, you want to talk? No, it's the fucking lunatics that's like, what's up, fat fuck? What's up, fat fuck?
And that's all they want to do is just verbally abuse you or get verbally abused back.
And he goes, Bert, you know who's going to call the most? The people that hate you. And I was like, really? He goes, do not give that phone number out. Tom was like, I wish you hadn't said anything because I was so close to being like, the new number is 818.
Yeah.
Oh, but no.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Like I like interacting with my fans on the levels that when I go out and fucking meet them and stuff. And I'm just shit on Instagram, man. The only thing I've done
Let me see
recently.
your Instagram.
Yeah. Yesterday I just did my running commentary of the most American thing I've ever seen in my fucking life, which is on the morning of 4th of July. There's a hot dog eating contest, which is played on a sports channel.
ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, who
on
won? Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, of course
Kobayashi?
he did. Yeah, of course he did.
Dude,
It was,
the
Joey
fucking-
Chestnut. But he was, and I have no idea why I know any of this information. He became very close. Yeah, see, I just can't. I've just got shit Instagram. I'm just no.
Okay. Here's my take on Instagram, okay?
Yeah.
Here's my artistic take on Instagram. Stories are fucking awesome.
They are, but for me, my problem with stories is at what point do you become, or what point do I become somebody that's just coming up with content for the sake of coming up with content?
No. This is how I use stories, okay? This is my 2 cents. My life is out there. I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I showed my I didn't have any success in the entertainment industry until maybe, I don't know. I would argue 3 years ago.
Yeah.
you could argue, you could say theoretically I was on TV, 10 years ago or whatever, 12 years ago. But when social media showed up, I used it like every human being.
Yeah.
Where I was like, this is my family on vacation. It wasn't for fans. I didn't have any fans. I had like 1,300 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I just put it out for like my families and my friends that I grew up with to check out. And then once things started taking off, I was like, I've already put my kids out there. So I look at stories. I believe stories are best when they're like you don't overthink them and you tell an arc. So like say like what are you doing tonight?
Tonight is Kai's birthday, so we'll be going out for.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is what I would do personally. I wouldn't do any stories today. I mean, you maybe do a story as we leave on your phone.
Yeah.
But then I'd do a story where you're like, all right, we're in Los Angeles. It's Kai's birthday. We're going out hard. Let's hope we make it through the night. Something like that. Then as you guys are getting ready, Kai, you excited about tonight?
Yeah.
Cut to him, yeah. And then maybe a joke, right? Like not like a setup, but like something fun, humorous. And then cover the night, but make it a story arc. Make it like a beginning, middle, and end. And just use stories that way. That's when it's most active. I don't always do it that way, but like 4th of July was a good arc for me. Woke up early and I made a pizza casserole.
Yeah.
I took over leftover pizzas. I chopped up into little bits, put it in a casserole dish, poured 6 eggs and a cup and a quarter of milk over it.
I'm fucking sorry. What is this meal? The pizza casserole.
So fucking good.
I do not doubt for a second, but just once again, this is the most American thing I've ever heard. So leftover pizza.
We had leftover. We had 6. We had a lot of. I actually ended up using 9. It's not on my stories anymore. Are you logged in as me? I'll show you what it looks like. I'll see if I can.
So it's just again, this is the thing I found most amazing about the hot dog eating contest was I was thoroughly getting fucking into it. But all of this done in a country that's got no free healthcare.
Here.
The audacity.
This is what it came out to be. Okay, why it's no longer available? Wonder why. Anyway,
but
so
it's just leftover.
We had 2 leftover pizzas, 1 pepperoni and 1 tomato and tomato basil or tomato spinach and garlic. Yeah. So I took them and I chopped them up into like inch-sized pieces.
Yeah.
I mixed them all up in this casserole dish, whipped together. I think I used 9 eggs and a cup and a half of milk. Poured that over them, let it soak into the dough, into the bread.
Yeah.
Then put mozzarella and Parmesan cheese on top of that. Put it in the oven, and it baked like a morning casserole. Yeah. I then cut it into slices, and it was out of this fucking world. It was one of the greatest things I ever had. So now here's where we get to the business part of it. In my head, I go, food always plays big on Instagram. Anyone, you show a picture of you grilling something, you're getting 100,000 likes. Yeah. You show a picture of a steak. My buddy's got an account that's just strictly, it's called the Steak King. That's all he does. Yeah. So I go, guys, I just came up with a brilliant idea. I'm making a pizza casserole. And then that's one part of the story. Then I cut and I go, and then I show it all cut in the thing. This is Steak King. And then I go, and then I poured it in. I showed a shot of that. Then I baked it. I pulled it out, showed a shot of that. Yeah. I showed a shot of us eating it. Yeah. And then that's beginning and
then the end of the story arc is you in hospital in cardiac arrest for the fact that you literally cut up pizza and put fucking eggs in it.
It was so bog. We have some left over. I'll give you a little slice.
Please
and you're gonna fucking love it.
Great.
And then I go, we're going to parade. So then I start another arc, right? But the technical arc in my head, so if you're doing like a movie, you've just got a bunch of arcs. Yeah. So if you can look at Instagram stories as arcs, like, hey guys, I'm doing this.
Here's the event of the day.
Yeah, and then that way you're not on Instagram stories all day long. You're not using it all day long. You're not like just like, and by the way, I've done this a lot, but you're just like Instagram storing meaningless shit.
Yeah.
And then I do that, and then I think what else is really good on Instagram stories is to have a couple things. You know, like I always make fun of Tom. I always challenge Joe. I always get in my pool and give a shout out to Joe Coy. Like there's a few things that I love doing. Things.
Oh, I think maybe because I do need to be better with my social media.
And this is why. Don't think about the business. Fuck the business part of it. Fuck the fact that it'll help you sell tickets. Fuck all that. Yeah. Here's why. Is I'd like it. Like that's all. I'd like it. And guess what? Ari would also like it.
Yeah,
and like your friends would like it. And if your friends would like it, your fans would love it. And it's a way to stay connected. And it's, by the way, it's just, it can be bad too. Like that's like my buddy Sean Patton has a hard time doing it.
Love Sean Patton unless he's listening, in which case, fuck you, Sean Patton.
Yeah, he has a hard time doing it because he overthinks it. And sometimes he'll be like, literally, we were in Utah skiing and he was like, I watched him work on one story for about 30 minutes and just one recording. And I go, Sean, just fucking record it.
Yeah.
Like don't, and he was like, I know, but it just seems like too forced. I go, let it be forced. It's you're putting the camera to your face.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I would love to see you and Kai's night tonight. I would love to wake up tomorrow morning as I do.
Yeah.
I go through my news.
Yeah.
I go through my Twitter mentions. I go onto Instagram.
Check it.
And I check. I'll scroll. I'll flip through the top until I find someone because I follow a lot of people, but I find someone I like Nikki Glazer, Jim Norton, Adam Greentree, Bobby Kelly, Louis J. Gomez. Like, sadly, I skip Rogan and Tom because all they do is promote stuff.
Yeah,
that's all they're. It's just tour dates. So I mean, I'll check Joe's every now and then. Every now and then, you get a good like steak and jalapeno one from him. Like if he just came back from a hunt, then you know his stories will be good. Yeah. But for the most part, his is just tour dates, which is fine. By the way, the upside is Instagram stories. When you do the swipe up, that is that connection with your fans, that conversation where they go. I mean, I would put on tour dates and just put it there, and then you look and you go, 10,000 people interacted with this tweet. That's 10,000 people that bought tickets.
Yeah,
that's 10,000 people that went to your website, bertbertbert.com. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll do that tonight. We'll try and get better. And then also, it would be great to also do I know it's fully being recorded anyway, but the Instagram story of our day drinking session on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely do a day.
And then the aftermath of that.
Yeah. Oh. I really enjoy I'm not a book guy. Okay. Like I've never been able to read really great. Or speak for that matter, but but I really enjoy visual mediums and audio mediums. So like I love podcasts, I love audiobooks, I love YouTube, I love Instagram. Twitter's not for me. Like I wrote a tweet today, and then I went, fuck it, I'll just try it in my act. I love earthquakes.
Matt, the earthquakes here, I have never. So I've always heard about the fucking LA earthquakes and stuff, right?
We had an earthquake yesterday, if you're listening.
And one
6.6. It threw me off my skateboard.
I
was on my skateboard in the parade, and I got thrown off my skateboard. I fell off my skateboard. When it started, I went, what is going on? Like, I'm having a hard time standing on my skateboard.
Yeah.
Am I having a brain tumor? And then I got thrown off it.
It's a fucking weird feeling because it's kind of like... Because it lasted way longer than I thought. I don't know why I thought earthquakes were like thunder and lightning, where it was just, there you go, just God fucking with you, being like, yeah, fuck you all. But it's like he's fucking swilling wine around. It was 20 seconds, like to the point where I audibly said to God, like, this is an earthquake. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, that's why the house is moving. And then Natalie came through and I was like, this is an earthquake. And she was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I should not be able to have like a normal conversation. Like if a tsunami arrives, at no point would I be being like, oh, look, it's a tsunami. Yes. So it is. It's a tsunami. And here comes the tornado. It's a panic, fear-inducing thing where you run in the opposite direction. Whereas in an earthquake, there's nowhere to run.
You just stick
it
out.
Like it's the earth that's doing it.
I've been in a few earthquakes. What do you do? Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I've been in a few earthquakes, and my wife was in one when we didn't have the pool. She was outside walking the dogs, and
like the dogs go mental before it
because go crazy. Priscilla hunkered down. She put her paws out like this and squatted. Mona started barking, but Leanne was outside. She said it was beautiful. She said the trees. I think it was a bigger one, and she said the trees went like shh. And the ground moved beneath her feet. She was like, it was almost like a spiritual moment. I, on that exact same earthquake, ran into my daughter's room naked, going, everyone under the table. Dick bouncing with every word. All my daughters missed the earthquake. They missed it entirely. They was like, Dad's vagina. That was all they yelled. So, but yeah, the earthquake yesterday threw me off my skateboard. But how did we get into earthquakes?
Oh, we were talking about, I can't remember.
Oh, I wrote a joke today about earthquakes.
Oh, there you go.
Joke was, I love earthquakes. I love earthquakes. I fucking wish now I don't remember the wording now. I love earthquakes because it immediately levels the playing field on cleanliness in my house. I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm a mess. Your shit's all over the place.
Yeah. It's like, hey, the house is a mess today. Yeah, earthquake this morning, real bad. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I'm the pig. Whose dishes are on the fucking counter?
Yeah. Smashed and everything. We're all scum now.
The only thing that moved in our house was our where we keep all our medicine and vitamins and drinks, and like that all collapsed in on itself.
Oh no, the most important part of the house.
I know. Where I keep my Xanax and my blood pressure medicine.
That's awful.
God, it was a fucking close call.
See, we don't really get like natural disasters over here. Is so common because like you guys get tornadoes. First of all, earthquakes are things I've only ever heard about or seen on the news. Tornadoes, I've only ever heard about it. I've seen them on the news.
Tornadoes are the worst natural disaster out there, in my opinion.
Have you been in one? I mean, I've
been in a tornado. I've been in a couple tornadoes.
What's so bad about it? They destroy everything?
I think they're unpredictable. They just show up. We had a tornado in Tampa when I was in probably 1979, 1978. I was a kid, and you're on the road, and all of a sudden there's a fucking tornado, and it flipped a fucking car, and you're just like, the fuck? Like, there's no hiding from it. They show up in the middle of the night, like you're just sound asleep, and a tornado just shows up, and you're asleep, and your house just gets ripped apart, and you get thrown in the air. Well, hurricanes aren't that bad. And now, by the way, I grew up in Florida, so when I say hurricanes aren't that bad, I never dealt with a Category 5 hurricane. I only had hurricane parties where it's like tropical storm Elena's coming in.
It's like every time we get, because obviously you hear about the tornadoes and the hurricanes that happen over here and the earthquakes and stuff, and obviously all the damage that they do, which in the rest of the world we're just, because none of your houses are made out of brick.
No.
Which is, I don't know whether it's, but everything's made out of fucking wood. Like, and to the rest of the world we're just like, have none of you like heard of the Three Little Pigs? Has the story of the Three Little Pigs never made it to America? Because every time there's a natural disaster, which I know you can't fucking
Is that
prevent.
the 1979? Is that that's the one?
Yeah. See, if any of those things had been made of stone, they would still be there because
guy's on his fucking horse. But you guys have to deal with refugees. We don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, and then also, man.
Dude, natural disasters. My daughter Isla's terrified of natural disasters.
Yeah, I mean, terrified. Even the name of them's not great.
Oh,
like it's tornadoes are something that are in fucking horror movies. Like the worst type of weather we get the worst type of weather we get in Scotland is occasionally there's a heat wave and none of us know how to fucking deal with it. But when I say heat wave, I know in your head you're like, oh, like weeks, like 3 days, where it's above 30 degrees in Scotland.
Heat waves kill a ton of people in like New York and Chicago.
Oh, like they kill Scottish people, but not for the reasons you think. It's just because we're just like, it's sunny for the next 3 days, so I'm obviously not working. I'm going to day drink in the sun and not hydrate because hydration is never important. And then I'm going to walk into the middle of a road. That's like the sun kills a lot of people in Scotland, but never directly. Just like the sun comes out and we all go, this only lasts for 3 days. It's our version of the Purge, the 3 days that the sun comes out in Scotland.
Purge.
Oh, it's called taps off weather, right? It's taps. So you don't
have to tell me. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, did they yell it in Glasgow? Taps off?
No, by the way, you're saying tarp, right?
No, tap. Tap is in top. Tap. Taps off.
Oh, this is me. Can you play the audio of this? This is on Fox.
The greatest day of my life. 2 Kings goals, second games. I've had 2 cold beers. I got an Uber driver, aka my wife, driving me home. Listen, you're doing great, guys. Tarps off for the boys. Tarps off for the boys. I got your back.
Tarps off.
Tarps was tarps.
That's a Canadian thing.
Oh,
Canadians say tarps off for the boys.
Tarps off for the boys. We get taps off for the lads.
They do. Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's what we say. Taps off for the lads.
I thought you were saying tarp because there was a video of this guy Austin, this video made me laugh so fucking hard. I just saw it one day, and then I was in Canada, and they kept saying, after the show to do a meet and greet, they go, "Can we do tarps off?" And I go, "Huh?" Yeah. And they're like, "Tarps off?" And I was like, "Yeah, tarps off, sure." Yeah, and then I didn't know what the fuck that was. And then there was this video. Just type in tarps off for the boys and see what comes up, Austin. This video made me giggle so fucking hard because the guy's not even joking. He's being serious. No. Wait a minute. Oh, later can it keep going down? Keeps going down. If I outviewed this guy, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh,
Jesus
devastating.
Christ.
You ruined
That
the thing that
sucks.
you swore to protect.
Oh, fuck, man. Oh, this guy was so fucking funny. Just try tarps off and see what it says. Oh, that bums me out. Fuck. I ruined the thing I loved.
You did it.
I
You
can't even
destroyed
find the
it.
thing I love now.
Oh.
Oh, fuck me. Put it in Google search. Put it in Google search. It might not be on YouTube. This is going to break my fucking heart.
Well,
That's like, you know what that is? That's complete and total plagiarism. It's only me.
well, it's still on. Oh, no. It's,
Do again. Tarps off for the boys. Oh, there he is. Matthew Bovee. Okay, this made me laugh so fucking hard, okay? You got to turn the volume up. Okay, start it over.
So, decided to go tarps off for the boys.
Where are you from?
Like they're doing legit interviews, and
It's a lot colder, and then it kind of warmed up. Heat wave, so decided to go tarps off for the boys.
Where are you from?
okay, cut it out. It just made me laugh so fucking hard that they're doing hockey interviews, and he goes, "I thought the weather would be a little colder, so I decided to go tarps off for the boys." It made me laugh so fucking hard.
what a legend in the fucking background. There you
Made me go tarps off for the boys. I could not stop laughing. I watched that a million times, and I was like,
Tarps off for the boys.
and so then when I didn't know that it was in Slater Kenny or whatever that letter Kenny.
yeah, I've heard that's excellent. I've not watched any of it yet.
It really is great.
Yeah.
It really is great.
I've heard it's fire. I can always tell when a TV show's good when people start making fucking memes about it, and I'm like, whatever this is, I need to get on board with it.
It is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, I got stuck watching it in Canada. It was just on TV, and there was nothing in Canada on TV, and I was there for a weekend in like Calgary.
Oh, yeah.
And I started watching it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's like, oh, it's so fucking good. And I was, and then I got obsessed with it.
So is it a Canadian show?
It's a Canadian show, and it's like two guys who are just dry as fuck, and I think they live with two sisters.
Yeah.
And the sisters always date fucking meatheads, and the meatheads always show up, and these guys are two steps. Play like a slate. This is perfect. Just play a little bit of Letter Kenny. These are the two guys.
Nice onesie. You coming, men?
Well, I think you coming men enough for all of us.
You better come in my... you better come up...
I think you better come say that to his face, you fucking hicks.
Nice execution.
You're doing terrific.
Hey, I heard about your breakup, buddy.
She's a sweetie for what, 5 years, right?
Oh, you're a high school sweetie, right?
What's it to you?
Heard she cheated on you, buddy.
That's a real kick in the knackers, bro.
Just a real ouchie, bro.
It's too bad that she taught you not to fight anymore, buddy.
Because that's a fight on sight for you and her new guy, buddy.
Point life for life, bro.
Maybe if you'd ever been in a real fight, you might not be so keen for another.
What'd you say?
You heard me.
Almost better. Tarps off, boys.
I did it.
I hate that this.
Pump the brakes. You take your shirt off and leave your sunglasses on.
What sort of backwards fucking pageantry is that?
Fight with those shades or play PokerStars.com.
I hate that this doesn't catch up, Alston. Stop it! It's killing me. It's killing me. It's so fucking good though, because they're just smarter than the room.
Yeah.
In every scenario,
And
but they don't look smarter for the room.
Yeah. And that's it's fucking excellent. How many seasons is it?
I have no idea. I've seen that. I think that was the episode I saw on TV.
And then you're just like, I'm in love with this.
And when he said something about, oh, you're gonna take your shirt off but leave your sunglasses on.
Yeah.
It was just fucking. Oh, that's. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Tops off
For the boys. Yeah. So yeah, there's just a massive thing in Scotland whenever the fucking sun comes out, because it's such a rare fucking thing that the city fucking stops because people don't go into work because they're like, it's the day the sun's fucking out. We're not.
I wonder if we could do a podcast outside.
Day drinking.
Yeah, day drinking outside. Maybe we'll have a cigar.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah,
There you
we'll
go.
do it out here. We'll do it under the
I'll be
chair.
sure to bring my fucking shorts, and then if it gets dark,
If you
I
get
can
too
be
hot,
the
you
fucking,
just jump in the pool.
Oh, can I
come
just
back.
make podcasts?
Yeah, we'll just do it. Maybe we'll do an outdoor. We'll rearrange it. We'll get the table from over there, and we'll do it right over here under the tree, and we'll have fucking cooler.
It's cooler.
My daughter's dress as cocktail waitresses.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely becoming illegal now. What was the shot we decided on?
I don't know. Maybe
Because we got to Fireball and we said we couldn't do Fireball because Fireball brings basically Fireball gives me PTSD.
Yeah, me too.
Like it just takes me back to times in my life when I had STDs and just living my life, but just just burning all over the body, not just in the upstairs orifice. Tequila is always a bitch. Here's the problem with America, though. Not the problem. One of the great things. Your shot sizes are so different to the UK.
You guys have littler shots.
Yeah, because we drink ourselves to death, and because we have free healthcare. So because the government provides our healthcare, they're like, hey, stop it. Because it's costing the government money to keep you alive, they put limits on you. That's why they show. Whereas in America, they don't. They're like, you can drink as much as you want. It's your fucking money healing yourself. For the same reason
that is fucking so eye-opening.
But it's the same reason why you've got lime scooters over here. Lime scooters these scooters will never ever exist in the UK because people will get injured on them and that'll be a drain on the NHS. Whereas they could exist here because... Fuck you. Do your own health.
I almost killed a guy on that lime scooter today.
Yeah.
I was turning onto the street by my house, like turning on. I'm going down a fucking major avenue and turning onto my street. So I look, I don't see anyone. I mean, there's no one. I have my blinker on. There's no one crossing it.
Yeah.
He is flying down the sidewalk on a scooter and then cuts off the sidewalk onto that street to get onto the major street. Dude, I saw a guy going down Santa Monica. In the middle of Santa Monica on a lime scooter, I go, bro, use your fucking... I won't ride a motorcycle in LA.
Yeah.
And you're going to get on a silent scooter.
Yeah, some of the little ding ding bell, like it's not going to make a fucking difference.
My daughters will never ride one of those scooters. Never, ever will they ride one of those scooters.
Me and Kai have been using them all the time because we have God complexes and of course we can't die.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How much fun is Los Angeles when you got those scooters? I came to Los Angeles when you had to rent a car.
We did it. First of all, we did fucking edibles in Austin, and then got on the lime scooters there, and just me and Kai have been like. Afterwards, we were like, that was definitely not safe in any way, shape, or form.
Oh God!
But it was only, it's only our own lives that we were taking into. Oh God, this is going to be deaths in it.
Oh, these are.
I just.
And that guy comes out laughing.
It's just going to be the death.
Oh, please say this turns into a fight with the short shorts and the two fucking cholos. I don't need to see this.
Yeah, no, I can imagine what people fucking go through. That being said, I'm still absolutely going to use one. I can't. Here's the thing: when I'm sober, I'm like, there's not. I should not even sober. I should not be on this fucking lime scooter. This is a dangerous thing.
You shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't.
Yeah, and then I'm drunk, and I'm like, well.
No, it's a horrible fucking idea, but people.
But the reason it exists is because. You take it because America is the land of suing.
Same reason people are addicted to opioids.
Because it's when you've run a profit-based healthcare system.
Yeah.
Health is not the priority.
All right, so we're on for Sunday, right?
We're on for absolutely for Sunday. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And then
I never met Kai.
You have not. The thing is, you've not met each other yet. You've both heard of each other for years and years and years.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so excited for it to be such a. It could go horribly wrong. Again, I'm going to have to stand there.
The first thing I'm going to say is, you don't like Muslims, do you?
Man, he'll just be like, well, she was annoying today, so no, actually. I'm going to have to sit there like a translator for most of it. Because it's basically, I think the first 30 minutes will be great. You guys are going to hit it off. Then we'll start drinking. His accent will start to slip. Your accent will start to slip. And then it's just going to be me just being like this weird fucking version of the UN.
I haven't done a drinking podcast in a long time.
Oh, well.
Those are my biggest. Back in the day, those were my biggest.
Yeah.
Because I would say, I say fucked up shit. I say fucked up shit a lot,
Yeah.
Definitely on a podcast. I think I've gotten better about it, but I just started a podcast with Segura, and I am something about me being around him. He makes me giggle, and I just end up talking reckless around him.
Yeah.
So I'm already not into but those drinking podcasts. This is back when you didn't think anyone would hear them.
Yeah. It's just for fun. Yeah,
dude. When we started doing Rogan's podcast back like fucking 10 years ago or whatever, you would say the most fucked up shit in the world.
Yeah,
thinking no one will ever hear this
because that's the thing as well. When you're fucking comedians, the thing is, people get called out for what they say on fucking podcasts. Because you have to understand what most comedians are used to, which is the only time you can ever make most other comedians laugh is to say something that shocks them.
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
Because nothing shocks us. Like it's we're immune to all these types of comedy. The thing that makes us laugh is things we don't expect, and the thing you don't expect to hear is something that's so horrific that nobody would ever fucking say it. That's what the jokes are.
Yeah.
And then the danger is you go on these podcasts where you're speaking to friends who you're used to saying
and
anything in front of.
We can't offend each other.
We cannot at all.
Yeah.
And if I could offend any of my friends, they wouldn't be my friend anymore. Because like if I honestly thought that I could say something and then Kai would be like, wow, did you mean that? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Like,
what's wrong with you? Now you're offending me.
Yeah, why? You think I meant that? What kind of dick are you that you think I meant any of the horrible things I said? And then we're in this world where, because you're in a greater position than me, where your fans are so fucking cool, right? Your fans know you, they know what you say, they know their fucking jokes. All it fucking takes is for one person to listen to the wrong fucking podcast, find one bit they disagree with, and cut out the other 2 hours of the podcast, this one bite-sized fucking bit, and then here, come and defend yourself. It's like, no, you went out of your way to get hit by that.
Here's the one saving grace is I've been making the sausage one way in podcasting, and that is unedited, unfiltered, reckless, and at times like, oh, that was fucked up, but if I change doing it that way, then the actual people that are listening, the actual people that are coming to my shows, the actual people that are buying merch and supporting me or following me on Instagram, they'd stop doing that and I'd lose my fan base.
Because
so I'm kind of in a nice place where I go, oh, this is how I do the thing I do. And it offends you and you never listened to it, but now you caught on to it. I hate to say this. I'm not going to apologize, and I'm going to keep doing it this way because the people that are listening like it this way.
You cannot cancel me if you weren't a fan before. Like if my fans come out and go, "Hey, you said this thing, and we don't like that," I'd go, "Fuck, right? Okay, I've missed the mark."
I've had fans hit me up. I have had fans hit me up and go, "Hey, man, you said something on this podcast that was a little fucked up. You may want to like rethink." And I'll rethink it, and I'll go, "Hey, man, I really appreciate you DMing me that."
And it comes from a nice place. It's not them yelling at you. It's them going, "Hey, just so you know, like me and Kai have spoke about things on the podcast, which obviously we don't know much about because that's what fucking podcasting is. It's fucking two blokes talking shit. And we'll go over something and then someone will go, hey, here's an article I think you should read, or hey, I belong to that sort of group you made fun of. I know you were joking, but just in case you want to educate yourself."
I love that. I love that.
Such a better way than going, "Hey, fuck you. If you start yelling at me immediately, in what world am I going to change to appease you? The first port of call I've ever had with you is you yelling in my face. Here's the news. I don't want to appease you because you're too overly aggressive. Dude,
I got in trouble in Australia recently.
Oh, I saw you got in trouble, but I didn't know what for.
I told a story that I'd told on Conan that went viral, and it was very positively received in America. I told it in Australia, and it was about my daughter's periods, and people were. By the way, it was 2 people online that were offended. Am I being dead serious?
Yeah.
It was 2 people online and offended, and then one of the hosts of the show. There's like 4 hosts on this show. The old man got offended because he's fucking 80 and he doesn't. He's 80, and by the way, I don't think Aborigines got their rights until the 80s in Australia.
Yeah.
So there was a solid 40 years of his life where he was saying like didn't even see them as human. So don't come at me that you got offended, you fucking archaic stereotype of racism.
Properly.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about women's reproductive rights or whatever the fuck.
It was the period party stuff.
Period party, yeah. And so 2 people got offended. This is the Tom Segura, this is the Tom Segura way of doing business, right? Everything affects me. Everything will affect me ultimately. Nothing affects Tom. Does not affect Tom. He is ice cold, ice water in his veins. When he got in trouble with Netflix over his last special, and now he's doing the Take It Down tour, he don't even play it. Don't even pull it down. Pull it down. Take this guy out of the fucking shot. So, people came at him, and he replied to them in a very comic way for his fans to get a kick out of. So one lady got upset and put a very nasty thing out on Twitter about me, and I'm not funny, and I'll never be funny. This is crude and whatever. Whatever it was. And I just, in my head, I was like, I just wrote back, hey, how about a follow though? And she And then of course everyone just piled on her.
Yeah.
And then another lady wrote something. There were two things. I don't know what the fuck we're talking. Anyway, I knew that if I backtracked on a joke, I would lose every single one of the fans I had. Because if I came out and did a public apology, hey guys, I was a little crass on the project and I apologize. I got to be honest with you.
It doesn't represent me or my character or what I believe in. I thank you for your messages of support. Please respect my family's privacy at the time as I try to become a better person. Blah, 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 blah. Bend the knee.
Yeah. All you got to do is do your thing, stay in your lane, and go, I do comedy. By the way, I have a lot more aggressive stories than that are coming on my next special. It is when I say reckless, Dave Chappelle, I think I got the word reckless from him. Yeah. He said we have a obligation to speak reckless as comics.
Yeah.
What? Okay. He said we have an obligation to speak reckless, and I went, yeah, we do. That's our thing. Like, if we don't talk fucked up,
who else is going to?
Yeah. And by the way, when I say fucked up, I'm talking about all my friends that are anti-Trump. You need to say that, and all my friends that are alt-right or very conservative. You need to keep talking. And then all the friends in the middle, I want to hear everyone talk.
Yeah.
I like that shit. And it's what you said. You got to pull from different circles.
It's the amount of comedians that go out there and they go, hey, so I'm a fucking left wing comedian. You go, cool, you're a left wing comedian. I'm a comedian that happens to be sort of left wing. I want right wing people in my audience because, first of all, fuck it, it doesn't matter if we disagree on shit. We can still laugh at the same stuff.
Bro, I have a joke right now where I go, I'm gonna offend both sides and celebrate both sides. There was a point where in the joke I would say, hey guys, I got both sides of I got both types of Americans in this room, and they both deserve to laugh. And by the way, it's like that's the way. I don't know.
I think it's getting to the point now where everything in the world is so fucking divisive that annoyingly it's now come down to comedians where I think that we have to start being, being the glue in some way with society.
I agree, and by the way, I think we're gonna stop this conversation because we're going to pick this up on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I believe the cancel culture and the outrage mafia, I believe that is disappearing.
Oh, yeah, it's done. They've gone too far. I absolutely agree. They've done it too much now that even the people on the own sides on both sides are going, oh, for fuck's sake, this is embarrassing.
Perfect topic for when we're drunk. Let's start with cancel culture.
Great, done.
And we'll break down. Drunk, we're gonna break down Kevin Spacey, Aziz Ansari, Louis C.K. We're gonna fucking
we're going to get ourselves cancelled.
yeah, we probably will. I've already come out and said so many good things about Louis. I like Louis. He just emailed me the other day. He's a friend of mine. You know what am I gonna fucking? You know what? You know who else did that? Bill Burr. They were like, "Hey, are you gonna fire your manager?" And he goes, "No, I'm not gonna fire my manager. I'm a fucking." Yeah, guys, that's why I said Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey was one that I don't think any of us can or should stand up for necessarily.
Kevin Spacey was such a good actor, though.
He was, and that's why he acted innocent for years.
He was such a good actor. I mean, come on. I kept saying a joke about Kevin Spacey where I was like, I just once want to hear him get to the podium for his apology because his apology was so fucking monoscopic of like. It was like, guys, don't worry. I got this. I'm Kevin Spacey. I've been hitting homers for the last fucking 20 years. No one questions me.
Yeah.
I would wanted him so badly to go, hey, guys, I tried to fuck a kid. I didn't fuck him. Yeah. I tried. We've all been there, right? And just watch everyone go, what the fuck?
No, we did not. No, you are trying to relate to me on a level that is not relatable.
All right. Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, God, it is like a fucking NFL thing. This Sunday, coming live, 3 alcoholics.
We're gonna figure out the accommodations of where we're gonna do it. We're gonna figure out the cocktails, the food, and then every now and then we'll do a jump in the pool, come out,
jump in the pool, and then just fix the world while drunk.
And we'll fix the world.
Baby.
Hey, you're Daniel
Sloss. Tour dates are all at www.danielsloss.com.
Awesome, brother. Hey, thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me again, buddy.
Fuck yeah.